Lisa581, I see you. Kelechi Ifi, good evening. Dara T, ready? Good evening. Happy Monday. Inside all around me, yeah. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to Insight with FunmiRoyal. Yes. Bringing hope and make you feel alright. Elder Kenneth, good evening. I see you there. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, Dami. Good evening. Welcome. Help me share this live. As usual, help me share to your friends. Let them be part of our talk today. Olori Adenike, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. I think I noticed you on Thursday as well. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're gonna, join in our box for discussion later on. Captain, I see you. Captain, you've changed your name again, you. Shuen, how are you? Well done, oh Captain. How is everybody back there? I hope everybody is good. It's good to have you here. Happy Monday, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please help me share this live. If you click down on your screen for about 3 seconds or 4, some names will pop up automatically. Just click send to all of your friends, your followers. Let them be part of our talk today. Flowers, I see you. Good evening. Today we'll talk about individual talks, issues relating to individuals. Sometimes they don't pay attention to, sometimes we don't even talk about them. Sometimes they shy away from them. Sometimes we're in denial of these issues, but then it's affecting us, from living the essence of life. Precious, the V or Vi, I see you. Good evening. Thanks for joining. I hope you're keeping well. So let us talk about these issues here on Insight with FunmiRoyal today. Invite as many people, as many friends. Let them be part of our talk. And if you dare wait till, a little bit further, you can come into the box. Let us rub minds together. Let us charge one another. We're not in denial here because there's so many aspects of life, that we have to go through. And sometimes we don't handle them all too good. Patsy Touch, I see you. Good evening. Florence Hodge, I see you. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Monday to you wherever you're joining. Patsy, where are you joining from? I'm a bit curious tonight again. Florence Hodge, where are you joining from? Andrew, welcome to Insight. Where are you joining from, Andrew? Let's know where you're joining from. I'm live here in UK or from UK. Okay, let's see one or two. I don't know if Leslie you're there or I missed you there. Yes, so I'm gonna open the box after my talk so we can rub minds together. Tochuku, good evening. Where is Tochuku joining in from? Elvira, where are you joining from today? Thanks for joining in. Please help me share this live, and you can tap on your screen to like this live such that it would attract other people to come onto this live. I'm gonna start my talk shortly. Somewhat average length. Prophetess Rach, I think. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining. I hope we are keeping well. Amomba01, good evening. Where are you joining from? Let's know where you're joining from. I'm here live UK, and it's just 5 minutes gone past 8 p.m. Thank you for liking the live, Prophetess Rachel. Wara, is it Wara? I think Mwara. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Prophetess Rachel, thank you so much for liking the live. Help me share to your friends. Let them be part of our talk today. This particular topic, a lot of us shy away from talking about, but it's one of the most important issues that individuals would face at every point in time. So dare we talk about it, dare we get understanding. The Bible even encourages us to get understanding, and it talks about how we ought to be. the things we ought to engage in, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report. Are you doing this thing? Do you feel them at all? I'm not going to jump my note, but thank you so much, Prophetess, for liking this live. Share. Let your friends be here. Shamel, I see you. I doubt if you came back the other time. I think you said you were busy. I don't know how busy you are again today. If you can stay for the box time where we rub minds even together. Rosalind Imar, good evening. Thank you all so much. Thank you for liking the live already. A heart to me would suffice just to support what we're doing here, but otherwise, honestly, it's fine by me. You can just help me like and share. Rue, I see you. Christina, good evening. Thank you for joining. Please, where are you joining from? Good evening. Hope you're doing great. Yes, I am doing great. Thank God. I thank God. I bless God. This is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we ought to rejoice and be glad in it. We thank God for sustenance of life. Life can be challenging, but in it all, we still have to give God all the glory. I'll try my best to spend some time. Okay, thank you so much. Really would appreciate. Baritone, I see you. Good evening. I was going to say good morning. And so 241, I see you. Chrissy, good evening. Please click down on your screen for about 3-4 seconds. Some names will pop up on your screen. Click send, and scroll all the way down and send to your friends. Let them be part of our crucial talk today. Thank you, Chrissy. Where is Chrissy joining from? Baritone, where are you joining from? Shimei, where are you joining from? Let me know, please. I want to see how far we're going on Insight. Let's see how far we're reaching people, really. So I'm going to go into my talk. We're looking at emotional health. This is the day. This is the day the Lord has made. We ought to rejoice and be glad in it. Indeed. Thank God. Can you imagine? We're mid-June already. It's like, once it gets to June, it just goes so quickly, so fast. But we thank God. Mari Ihio, I think. I hope you are good. Thanks for joining. Yeah, let me know where you guys are joining from today. So I'm going to go into the talk. We're talking emotional health today. Michael O, I see you. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, thank you guys. Help me share this live. Mommy Saya. Is it Saya or Sire? Now, I don't know. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Yes, emotional health. G Food Global, you're welcome. Please share this to all of your foodie lovers. Let them be part of this talk today. Emotional health is what we're looking at. So what is emotional health? Let's break it down. A bit of introduction. We'll break it down some more so we have an understanding. Today on Insight, like I said, we talk about individual talks. Francis, good evening. Issues relating to individuals. Sometimes they tend to be in denial of, or we shy away from talking about them, but then it's affecting us as human. Royal Prince, wow, I see you. Good evening. So, emotional health is the ability to understand, express, manage, and respond to our emotions in a healthy and balanced way. It affects how we think, behave, relate to others, handle stress, make decisions, and navigate life's challenges. I had a client earlier on today, and most of our focus was on, the thinking, the feelings, and then behavior. I was doing a bit of CBT there because cognitive behavioral therapy, sometimes we use that mostly for most clients. Depends on what they've brought on, but somehow, no matter whatever they bring on, CBT is always handy really with clients. So we had to deal with our mind, our thinking, the environment to start with, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and how we're behaving. If you can learn to balance those three, yeah, you're on the right path as an individual to living a healthy emotional life. So being emotionally healthy does not mean we are happy all the time. Far from it. Or that we never experience sadness, anger, fear, or disappointment, or even grief. Rather, it means that we are aware of our emotions. We can process them appropriately, because that's where the problem is, and we do not allow them to control our lives. Yes, I'm going to break it further down, because some people, as individuals, you've never sat down to reflect about your emotions. Really, do you have healthy emotion, or is it unhealthy? I mean, put it on there if you've ever really thought about your emotional well-being, as in you're conscious about it. So here on Inside, as individuals, we believe strongly God has created us as individuals. So you're going to be hearing me, go into the word, the scriptures here and there, just to kind of buttress my point tonight. Victor, I see you. Debbie, wow. No comment, no further comment. Good evening, Debbie. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Victor. Sandy, I see you. Please tell me, let me know where you're joining in from tonight. Let's know where you're joining from. So as a Christian, emotional health is closely kind of linked to our spiritual well-being, because God created us as emotional beings. He created us that way. So through scripture, we see people expressing joy, sorrow, fear, anger, hope, and love. Even Jesus, I dare say, experienced deep emotion. You're wondering, really, where, which chapter? Just stay tuned and take notes. Perhaps you'll be the one to help us with that. Peter, bad day, Joe, I see you. Nana, I see you. Good evening. Hey, thank you. Happy New Week. It's another week. This month is almost finished, but we thank God. Thank you so much. I hope your day and your week is starting off good as well. Just hold your comment. Okay, I'll hold it. I comment my reserve, or I reserve my comment. Yeah, okay, whichever one. So let us understand emotions. Let us understand emotions are actually God-given signals to help us understand what is happening within us and around us. Some common emotions include positive emotions like joy, peace, gratitude, hope, love, contentment. You will feel that. And we have some challenging emotions as well. Yeah, almost every human will go through this. Okay, thank you. Oh, Shamel, you met, I think you met on the big ones live, I think so. So we have challenging emotions such as anger. I mean, hey, I used to deal so much with that a lot way some years back. Fear, anxiety, sadness, disappointment, guilt, loneliness. These are feelings everyone would experience at one point in time in their lifetime, really. So emotions themselves are not sinful. What matters is how we respond to them. Elfrida, I see you. Good evening. Thank you so much. Please help me share this live. Help me share this live to your friends. If you read Ephesians chapter 4 verse 26, it says, be angry. So we have every right to be angry, but it says, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath, it says. So this verse shows that anger is a natural emotion, but we must manage it wisely. Because I know, oh my goodness, some people, because of anger, they've destroyed, part of their lives even. They've destroyed things, because of the heat of the moment when they are angry. So let's be mindful. So why does emotional health matter? Why does it even matter? Let's break it down. It matters because it affects our relationship with God to start with. When emotions are ignored or suppressed, they can contribute or they can create barriers in our spiritual lives. David frequently poured out his emotions before God. Sometimes some of us, we don't even know what to do with our emotions. We bottle it up, and then before you know, you start feeling some heartaches and all of that. But anyways, that's by the way for now. So if you read Psalm 62 verse 8, it says, trust in him at all times, you people, as in everybody go through emotions. So pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us, for everyone. So God invites us to bring every emotion to him. Have you poured on God lately? Sometimes you just go before God and you're sad. You are sad, maybe you're grieving, you are not happy, you are fearful, or you're afraid, all these emotions, you're angry, you're disappointed. Sometimes some people are even disappointed in God, and they might feel, is it something they can just say, God, I'm disappointed in you. He knows these feelings will come because you're asking for something and God is not responding to you, or it's like nothing is forth happening, and you're so angry with God, or you're angry with people around you, or you're angry at a situation. All of these things, it's okay to feel the anger, but what are you doing with it? He said, be angry, but do not sin. And David is telling us here, trust in God at all times. Pour out your heart. Pour out your feelings. God is a refuge. Lala, good evening. I see you. So, why does emotional health matter? What does it matter? It matters because it affects our relationships. Yes, it does. Emotionally healthy people, they communicate better. They don't allow their emotions to rule or run them, so to say. They resolve conflicts more effectively, and they build stronger relationships. Yeah. So when emotional wounds are left unaddressed, they can lead to misunderstandings. They can lead to resentment. I'm telling you, huge stuff. It can happen, when we don't deal with our emotional health in the right way. Isolation, unhealthy dependency, relationship breakdowns. I mean, those are the things. It can affect your relationships in all of these ways and many, many other ways. So what am I saying this evening? Pay attention to your emotions. Don't let it run you. Rather, you have to be in control of it. Again, it's important because it affects our physical health. Yes, emotional health affects your physical health. So this one, it says, research consistently shows that chronic stress, anxiety, and unresolved emotional pain can affect one's sleep. So you're suffering from insomnia, go back, reflect deep. Where is it coming from? Some people, high blood pressure, they experience this. It will affect your blood pressure. This is emotional pain. It can cause that effect on you. Your energy levels, you're just low in energy, just low or sad all the time, even sometimes for no reason, and all of that. Again, and if it can affect your immune function as well. And guess what? Your overall well-being can be affected in this manner. So emotional health has its way of affecting you, your physical health as well. Let's pay attention. The Bible also acknowledges even this connection. If you read Proverbs 17:22, it says, a merry heart does good like medicine. It says, but a broken spirit dries the bones. A merry heart. How is our heart recently? Is it merry? Is it sad? Is it angry? Is it disappointed? Is it resentful? Mind you, but a broken spirit dries the bones. So you can imagine how these things can affect you physically. So let's look at signs of good emotional health. I'm trying to break it down steadily so we have a better understanding. Hoshman, I see you. Good evening. Young Chooks, good evening. Thank you so much for joining. Please help me share this live to your followers. Let them be part of our talk today. So, signs of good emotional health. As I'm talking, I always say reflect, check yourself. This one, you don't have to check for other persons. Check yourself. Villas by Sophie, I see you. So, a person with good emotional health, they recognize their feelings. They're not in denial. So whether they're angry, they're upset, they are sad, they are annoyed, whatever it is, they recognize their feelings and they're not in denial. This is a sign of good emotional health, meaning you pay attention to your feelings. Again, signs of good emotional health, it means that you express emotions appropriately. Some people, they're used to suppressing their emotions. Even when they're angry, they will hold and bottle everything in. And then some might even experience some kind of trembling, all sorts. Your body, you feel some body sensation just because you're suppressing that emotion. You don't want to express it. So we learn to express emotions appropriately. Again, it's important because it helps us to handle disappointment constructively. When you're in control of your emotional feelings or your emotions, you find out that you're in control. When I'm angry, I can throw stuff. But if I know that when I get angry, I will throw something, I try to, manage that feeling such that I don't throw something. So I will have to handle well that emotion such that it's not controlling me to doing the things I really do not want to do. Again, it's important because it helps to maintain healthy relationship. Like I said, is very good. Signs of good emotional health includes setting healthy boundaries as well. You know that this person always annoys you. This person, there's just a negative way to rub off on you. Perhaps you should stay at arm's length, for some time until you learn to manage your emotions around them. Because otherwise, you find out that there's no boundary or boundaries are being broken, and this, will set you back, health wise. So we need to be mindful. Again, another one is accept correction and feedback, because you have good emotional health. When somebody says something, instead of fighting them, lashing at them, resenting and all of that, you pay attention, you listen, you check yourself, and pick what is right for you, and whatever is not right, just let it be, instead of allowing that to affect how you're feeling altogether. Again, another sign of good emotional health is you adapt to change. Some people, change happens abruptly and they are just all over the place. They are lost. They don't even know what they're doing anymore. But you have to be in control of your emotional health. So people like that with good signs, it means they adapt quickly to change. Such that they're not stressed, they're not having sleepless night because of that. Thank you, Shamil. Thank you so much for reposting. And again, another sign of good emotional health is you demonstrate resilience during difficult times. It means you're in control. Because some people, their resilience level in terms of their emotions, is zero. You could tell, sometimes you wear your emotions on your forehead. Sometimes you can tell some people like that, they're so emotional, yet they want to appear that they're not, and people can easily read them really. So emotionally healthy people are not perfect, mind you. They simply learn how to navigate life's emotional challenges. Because I was telling this person this evening, like, look, if you don't control what you're thinking, what you're processing in your mind, you're going to start feeling, you're processing stuff negatively. You're going to feel negative in your body, the body sensation, palpitations, heavy breathing. Some may even feel like they're panicking and all of that. And chances are how you will behave will be negative as well. So we have to learn to control our emotions. It's very important. So again, we've heard about the good signs of emotional health. Let's look at the signs that are poor when you're talking about emotional health. So let's look at signs of poor emotional health. Some indicators really may include constant worry or anxiety. In the last 6 months, I've had so many clients come with anxiety, depression, isolation, and all of that. So they're constantly worrying. I've got warriors on my plate, really. And then we have to go back to this CBT I mentioned earlier, trying to understand their thinking, their body sensations, their feelings, their emotion, and then their behavior and things like that, such that they pay attention, they are conscious of these things, and they are in control, not their emotions being in control of them. Ebony, good evening. So another indicator might be frequent emotional outbursts. If you're such a person, check. Perhaps you have poor emotional health. Look at that. Check yourself. You can't afford to be in denial forever. You have to face these emotions, otherwise you have such outbursts, and you don't rub off on people on a positive light. So you don't want people to see you as that negative person who just bursts out for no reason or whatever minute reason. You don't want people to see you like that. So you really have to pay attention. Thank you, Leslie, for the heart to me. Again, another sign of poor emotional health is unresolved anger. I remember I was talking to this client, and it says they decide to be quiet all the time. I said, okay, after you cooled off, would you go back to whoever has caused this anger to say to them, look, before I couldn't talk because I was so upset and I didn't want to say the wrong thing. Have you gone back to try to resolve whatever? I said, oh, I got over it and that's it. But then as they were talking, it's been a while, as they were talking, you could feel the anger like through them again. And I'm like, it sounds to me you've not had closure with this anger with this person. I don't know how long. Do you think it's something you want to visit? But before you do, let's talk about it. Let's work on, your coping mechanisms and all of that. Ma, how are you? Good evening. I hope you are keeping well. Happy Monday to you. Thank you, Leslie, for liking the live. Oh, thank you, guys. So that can be, signs of poor emotional health, unresolved anger. Don't bottle things up, because it has an ugly way of exploding where you least expect, and it's kind of embarrassing sometimes. So let's be mindful. Again, another sign of poor emotional health is persistent sadness. What is that thing that you're not addressing, and you're always feeling sad all the time, consistently, persistently? You need to look into that, pay attention to it. And again, sometimes it could be difficulty trusting others due to 1,000,001 reasons. You've trusted before, they've disappointed you over and over and over and over again. And you're just like, you know what? You can't trust anyone for the life of you. It might be poor emotional health. So pay attention to that, because it's something you really have to do away with. If you want people to trust you, you also have to learn to trust others. It's as simple as that. Again, it could be withdrawal from relationship. That's what's caused you that poor health, emotional health. And you can always overcome. That's why you have to talk about things, deal with them, instead of being in denial or just bottling it or pushing it aside. Because if after a while you want to go into another relationship, you find out that you're just there, but you're not there because of past experiences. You just withdraw before you even put the energy in, so to say. Be mindful, could be a sign of poor emotional health. Another one is low self-esteem. Because of your self-esteem is rather low most of the time. Perhaps there's some things, underlying issues you really need to look at and deal with, such that you can have, this high esteem again. Sometimes could be bitterness and unforgiveness. It brings about poor emotional health. You're always bitter. You haven't dealt with that anger. You cannot forgive this person, and it's affecting you. And then that person is living life, enjoying life, and you even get more angry. You have to find a way to dealing with that. Otherwise, it's going to eat you alive. You remember I said this emotional health, it has a way of affecting your physical well-being as well. And again, sometimes it could be difficulty coping with stress. And these are, signs of poor emotional health. Are you always stressful or stressed, or what's the word now? Yeah, if you're always stressed and you can't cope, you're always having a meltdown, yeah, signs of poor emotional health. You really need to face it head on and not just push things aside because it's not going to go away. Trust me. So, recognizing these signs is not about condemning yourself, but it's about becoming aware of areas that may need attention, especially that may need healing. Like I said, if you keep bottling things up, one day you're just going to explode where you least expect. So, try to find help. If you need counseling, get counseling. Sometimes you might have group counseling. Some people might feel one-on-one, okay. But when you have a group counseling, you find out that other people are sharing. You're not the only one, suppressing emotion and all of that. You hear from other people, and then perhaps that can, help you to open up and share as well. So, like I said earlier, even Jesus is the greatest example in the Bible. He he experienced emotions as well. Yeah, let's put it that way. So I'm going to help us using Jesus as an example. Like I say here, I will always refer us to the Bible. So let's look at Jesus as an example of emotional health. You might be wondering where to where, Yeah, let's break it down some more. Jesus demonstrated perfect emotional balance. He expressed compassion, because that is emotion. If you read Matthew chapter 9 verse 36, it states, "But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion for them." Some people may have seen the multitude and feel, where are they coming from? You feel anger. But no, he felt compassion, which is a positive emotional feeling. Again, Jesus wept. You all know that the shortest Bible verse, Jesus wept. John 11:35. Jesus wept. Weeping, crying. Those are emotions that comes out even with your body sensation. When you cannot hold on to whatever it is, you find tears coming out. Jesus wept. He showed that emotion. So even though Jesus knew he would raise Lazarus, he still expressed grief and empathy. So if Jesus can cry, Jesus was a man. He is a man. Well, when he came to earth, he cried. Where are these people of my culture saying a man dare not cry? Suck it up. Hold it in. Even Jesus cried. He cried because Lazarus was his cousin. He cried because Lazarus died. But he knew he was still going to raise him. Why did he cry? He had compassion. He felt the pain. So if Jesus could weep, I don't know who that man is on earth that feels crying, is not manly. Anyways, another story for another day. You get that. Jesus experienced distress. If you read Matthew chapter 26 verse 38, he said, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death." Jesus did not deny his emotions at all. He was a man whilst he was on earth. How much more women? He acknowledged his emotions and brought them before the Father. So dare we do the same as well. God is interested in our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, our mental well-being, our relationship well-being, everything regarding you as an individual. God is interested. So that brings us to common barriers to emotional health. You may not have thought of this before. Like I said, here is something for you to think about. There's some barriers to emotional health. I'm going to mention a few. Think about it. Search your heart, search yourself. What is the one you're trying to deal with or you're in denial of? First common barrier is unresolved past hurts, because the feelings are still there, the emotions are still there. So past experiences such as rejection, abuse, neglect, loss, betrayal can affect emotional well-being long after event has passed. Oh, somebody jilted you when you were a teenager, maybe your first love or something, and because they were your first love, you thought, oh, this person will be your soulmate, and they disappointed you like that, and it broke something in you. It broke you so bad that 10 years after, you find this guy, yeah, you kind of like him, but you're so afraid that this person might just do the same thing. You're still suffering from past betrayal, and then because of that you're finding it difficult to open up to this new relationship. You're finding it hard to trust this person. You're finding it hard because at the back of your mind, give them 6 months now, they're going to do the same. This would affect your well-being. So sometimes we need to be mindful. Who has betrayed you? This new person has not betrayed you, so don't lump them up with your past experience. Healing often requires acknowledging the pain rather than pretending it never happened. Some people are so in denial that until maybe an occasion arises and they had to talk about, certain feelings or certain things, you now see them still raw with that pain of 10 years. And you'll be wondering, why have they not dealt with this? Why have they not talked about it? Why have they not processed this? But they just, push it aside, and obviously they haven't healed from it, and then they want to move on with life. From individual to individuals are different. Some people, once they get over it, that's it, they're gone, it's gone, and they don't let it affect their new experience. Some are like that, but quite a number of people would bring the past into their present. Again, another common barrier to emotional health is suppressing emotions. Many people were taught, again, I'm coming here. Many people were taught that expressing emotions is a sign of weakness. Statements such as, don't cry. I am gender biased here. It's for men. Don't cry. Be strong. Get over it. Really? All this can lead people to bury their emotions rather than process them. And imagine right from childhood days, they've been, bombarding the male child with this mindset. You need to, don't cry, don't be strong, get over it. You're a boy, suck it up, boy, suck it up. The boy goes to play football and his friend took his ball off of him and they break the thing and they now throw it back, and the boy carried the broken ball or whatever and comes home, my friend crying to dad was saying, suck it up, boy, you don't cry, man it up, and I'm thinking, hello, seriously. And then even other bigger emotional experiences, they will have to suck it up, but then they are bottling everything up somewhere because they've not found the room or the space to expressing this, and then it start coming out in their behavior. And then sometimes some people meeting them, you just, who offended this person? They're just angry, and yet they don't see that because it's something from their childhood days. So suppressed emotions often reappear in an unhealthy way. So we need to be mindful. Stop teaching your male child not to cry. When they're crying, you shush them up. You tell them to suck it up. Please, you're doing... In fact, anyway, let me calm down because even me, I'm getting emotional right now. Be careful. Another barrier, unforgiveness. Holding on to bitterness can damage emotional and spiritual health. If you read Ephesians chapter 4, verses 31 to 32, I'll read it to us. It says, let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you. And be kind. Emotion, feeling. Be kind to one another. Tender-hearted. Feeling. How does the Bible want us to feel? Tender-hearted. We don't feel like that all the time. Even I don't feel like that all the time. But I'm mindful, regardless. Forgiving one another. Because forgiveness does not excuse wrongdoing. Don't get me wrong. It just simply releases us from carrying that burden. How long do you want to carry the wrath? How long do you want to carry that anger? How long do you want to carry that bitterness? It will take a toll on you, your health. FunmiRoyal, I see you, word of affirmation. So forgiveness does not excuse people's wrongdoing or even your wrongdoing. It just releases you from carrying that burden, and you feel lighter, you feel better. Again, another sign or another barrier is negative thinking. Oh my goodness. Oh dear Lord, I can't begin to, most of the time when people come through my doors, the negativeness, if there's a word like that, the negativity in their thought for themselves, it's so, oh my goodness, depressing to hear sometimes. And you can't blame them. It's something they've experienced for a long period of time that they can't even process anything positive. Yeah, people get to that state. They get to that state. So negative thinking is another barrier. Our thoughts influence our emotions. So what emotion are you putting out there? If it's negative, then trace it back to what you're thinking. So that's why you look into the mirror and feel good about yourself. Some look in the mirror, they don't feel good. Maybe they've been struggling with their weight or something. I remembered, I shared it before. Once upon a time, before marriage, before children and all of that, I was size 6, like bony person. I wasn't really thinking about maybe I'll get fat or not fat. My parents are not thin as such. I was quite thin, but I'm like, it's just a matter of time. But I never really processed it as such. And then after the first child, see me bloating up with all this contraceptive, whatever, I was just, imagine from a 6 to bam, 12, from a 12, bam, to 18, before you know, bam, 24, yeah, once upon a time. And I hated me that I used to love to look at the mirror. At some point in my life, I hated looking into the mirror because I didn't like what I saw. And then it was out of my control because it was what I was using. Otherwise, I mean, I think I'll still have maintained quite a, figure, so to say. But I didn't like looking into the mirror because I'm like, what? I feel fat. I feel this. I feel whatever. Okay. When I discovered what the problem was, went to the doctors, prescribed something else. Okay. I started, going down even without having to do exercise or whatever because that was medically induced fatness, so to say. And then imagine from a size 24 going to size 18, I've lost drastically there. But when I stand in front of that mirror, I still see that big me. I couldn't see the thinner me, even though I wasn't too thin. I could not even see that size 18. I never want to stand in front of a mirror because I'm like, from when to when? Look at how big I've gotten. But it's just, a matter of time. Even when I eventually got to a size 12, so to say, my brain is still thinking that 18, So sometimes what you're feeding your mind brings this emotion. And you have to deal with your mind. Because then it was my mind, not me. Because I've gone down, but I couldn't see it in my mind's eye. And it was affecting me. So that's just one aspect. I don't know what for you it is. For me, that was one I can, think about to share with us now. Negative thinking of yourself, it will bring negative emotion. So we really need to pay attention to what is going on in our mind. Philippians 4:8, it says, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely. What does it say? Meditate on these things. What are you meditating on? Healthy thinking contributes to emotional stability. I'm not saying, everything is fine all the time. Oh, you're size 24. You're telling yourself you're 18. That's not what we're doing. See it for what it is. Sit in front of the mirror and process it. If I know what I know now, then I think I would have handled things differently. Okay, this is what you see now. This is how you are now. Do you want to do something about it? Begin to think. Meditate. What do you want to do about it? Do you want to change your diet? Do you want to go back to your doctors? Do you want to, find how easy your body can lose the fat or whatever it is you have to do, rather than sit there and condemning yourself all the time and not doing nothing about it. Healthy thinking contributes to emotional stability. Some people, they will say, okay, they want to cut down on food and all, and they start starving themselves. They now even cross that boundary to the point that they stop eating. They become anorexic, or what did you call them? And it's even dangerous. Therefore, we need balance in life. Otherwise, we will suffer emotionally, we'll suffer physically. So let's see how building emotional health sounds, what it sounds like. Yes, we can actually build emotional health. Like I said, are you paying attention to your emotional well-being? Because if you are, then you possibly want to build your emotional health. And if you don't know what to do, sit down and listen. One or two, there's so many things you can do, but I'm going to mention a few. First thing is develop self-awareness. You cannot keep running away from your emotions. You cannot run away. There's only so much you can run. You run there, the thing will follow you there. So develop self-awareness. Ask yourself from time to time, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? What am I feeling? Name it. Is it anger? Is it resentment? Is it lack of love? Is it sadness? Is it stress? Whatever it is, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Because you're the best person to answer these questions. What triggered this emotion? You need to find out. You need to know. So think back to when you started feeling that way. What were you doing? What were you thinking? What environment were you? All of those things help you to, develop self-awareness such that you're aware of your feelings and your emotions as well. So understanding emotion is the first step to managing them. If you don't understand, you probably won't know what to do. So think about it. I'm talking about building emotional health, what you can do. Develop self-awareness. 2, talk to God honestly about it. Sometimes I'm just in the presence of God. Maybe I feel sad, whatever. I can't even open my mouth to pray. I'm just in tears. I'm just crying. Like, Lord, you know what this tear means. I just pour it to Him. Debbie, I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Leslie, for liking the live. So talk to God honestly about your emotion. Prayer is not just presenting prayer requests. Father, I need money. Father, I need this. Or no, Father, help me with my emotions. It is sharing our hearts with our Maker, and God can handle our questions, no matter how ridiculous you think it sounds. God can handle our fears. He can handle our tears. He can handle our frustrations. He can handle our doubts that we're feeling. Even the Psalms, if you read a lover of Psalms demonstrate honest emotional expression before God. David would express how he's feeling. Sometimes you almost feel he's condemning himself as well. But the joy of the Lord will still be his strength anyways. Again, we're looking at, building emotional health. What else can we do? Build healthy relationships, because this is part of living life. People that you surround yourself with, whether pair, whether friends, whether family. Sometimes not all family members you bring closer to you, because hey, sometimes they will drain you. They will drain the life out of you, and instead of getting upset, resentful all the time, you might have to put them at arm's length, such that you're looking after your emotional well-being as well. So surround yourself with people who encourage growth, people who speak truth in love, people who provide support for you. You can identify them, and if you haven't identified them, go sit down, reflect, think. You'll notice, oh, this person, they're always there, this and that. This person, my goodness, anytime you just feel this, check yourself, the people you surround yourself with. Check. Respect boundaries. Do they respect your boundaries? Do you respect their boundaries? Do they speak the truth in love to you? Do they encourage your growth? Do they provide support for you? Those are things you need to check in order to be okay and to build good emotional health. It's very key. It's very important. Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Are you sharpening somebody? Is somebody sharpening you? Positively, mind you. Yes, there I say iron sharpens iron. So a man sharpens the countenance of his friend in a positive way. Yes. Another one is practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is missing to what God has provided, because sometimes we focus more on the negatives and we forget the positives. We focus more on the sadness, we forget the joyful moment. So there has to be a balance. So when you're grateful, you find out that, oh, all the sad feelings, I'm grateful, I feel somewhat happy. So maybe practicing gratitude might be your thing. Keeping a gratitude journal can improve emotional well-being and resilience. Try it. It might work for you, it might not work for you. As I said, I'll mention few bits. This time around is not one hat fits all. Find whatever works for you, whatever would help you to build that healthy emotions, whatever helps. And like I said, gratitude, can keep a journal. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, in everything give thanks. Whether you're sad, thank God. At least you have that sad feeling. Some people are in the grave. They cannot be sad. They cannot be happy anymore. They cannot be anything anymore. They're just 6 feet under. So you have every reason to still give thanks. I dare say that. So let's look at ways to learn healthy coping strategies. So let's learn healthy coping strategies. Like I said, one hat does not fit all because we're dealing with different emotions at different times. But perhaps it might help you to look deep and find what will work for you. Perhaps so. So healthy ways to manage stress include prayer. I've said that before. Sometimes it's exercise. Some people, they're angry. Go and get the punching bag if you must. Don't punch human. Don't punch another person, because your own 2 punch and one from them might knock you off. So pray about it. Some people exercise. Some will run and run and run, and they cool off steam, and they're able to now sit and talk about that thing that's annoyed them or whatever it is. Some people decide to go rest, to just sleep off, to cool off. Whatever would work for you, whatever helps. And if you don't know what helps, all the things I'm mentioning, try them one after the other. You will find something that would help you. So you can pray, exercise, rest, journaling. Journaling. I love it when I suggest that to clients and they decide to journal, and then we have something to really talk deep about when they come into a session. Again, for some people it's worship. Sometimes, like I said, when I can't even put words together, and I'm heavy, I just worship. Sometimes I worship as in opening my mouth to just worship and just be praising God. Or sometimes I play some worship songs just to help me, feel somewhat better, Again, spending time with loved ones can help. So don't isolate yourself. These are ways that you can learn to cope in a healthy way. These are coping strategies. Sometimes you might just have to be in the midst of family, loved ones, and you find out that you're coping better. You're not all that angry. You're not all that sad. You're something to talk about, to laugh about, and all of that. So spending time with loved ones might help. Seeking professional support when needed. Please do not count that as a sort of weakness. No, seek help. Get help. Your car breaks down, you get help for your car. Why is it that when you're breaking down, you're so adamant getting help for you? Please, let's not be like that. I'm about rounding up shortly. I'm going to round up shortly. So seek help when necessary. It's very important, because sometimes emotional struggles require additional support. Seeking help from a trusted pastor, if you're a believer, a counselor, a therapist, a mature mentor, a mature friend, all of this is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. As long as you trust the person you're seeking help from. Proverbs 11:14 says, in the multitude of counselors there is safety. In the multitude of counselors there is safety. Once upon a time you were feeling all of this emotional baggage, and seeking help will help you navigate things, manage things better, and you're on the right path. So don't feel like because you're seeking help is a sign of weakness. No, please don't. That's negative thinking, actually. Let's look at the fruit of emotional health. So when emotional health grows, we become more capable of loving ourselves, of loving others as well, managing stress more effectively because you're on top of it. You don't allow it to manage you, but you're managing it, making wise decisions when you're emotionally healthy. This is what happens. And again, building healthy relationships when you're emotionally healthy. Serving God faithfully, because whether He answers your prayers now or He answers tomorrow, you know that He is still God. So you're serving Him faithfully regardless of what you're going through. That is a sign of, maturity, is a sign of good fruit in terms of emotional health. And again, recovering from setbacks. Some people find it hard to recover from certain setbacks, and it just scar them, mar them for life, and they can't seem to get a hold of that aspect of their lives. So get a hold of it. Recover from whatever setbacks you might be experiencing. We become more resilient and better equipped to fulfill God's purpose for our lives, because you know how you're feeling, you know when to pause, you know when to reflect, you know when to handle things, you know how to think, and all of that. You're building resilience, and whatever life throws at you, you're capable enough and equipped enough to handle it appropriately. So I'm concluding by saying this: emotional health is an important part of our overall well-being. God created us with emotions and desires that we learn to steward them wisely. He say, be angry, but do not sin. Be sad, do not curse. All of these things, it matters a lot. Healthy emotions helps us to connect with God, connect with ourselves, connect with people around, build meaningful relationships, and navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Emotional health is not the absence of struggles. I'll say that again. Emotional health is not the absence of struggles. It is the ability to face them honestly, with faith, with wisdom, and with hope. I'm going to leave us with this Bible verse, and I pray it ministers to someone out there. If you read the book of 3 John chapter 1 verse 2, it says, Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, whether emotional, physical, mental, just as your soul prospers. And I pray that God will help us to grow emotionally healthy, spiritually mature, and resilient in every season of our lives. Amen, in Jesus' name. So that is the end of my talk, guys. However, I have 2 questions for us to tackle. The first question is, can a person be spiritually mature and still struggle emotionally? Can a person be spiritually mature and still struggle emotionally? And second question is, why is forgiveness important for emotional health? Why is forgiveness important for emotional health? Guys, thank you so much for listening. Let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside. Bringing hope and make you feel alright. So that is the end of my talk. LS, I see you. Alex, good evening. Ebony, thanks for coming back. I hope we're keeping well. Thank you, Leslie, for the roses. Thank you. So guys, this is me done talking. We were reflecting as I was giving the talk. Come into the boxes. Let's talk some more. Let's encourage one another. Let's open our eyes of understanding, of knowledge to our emotional health. It's very important. It's very crucial. It affects us in what we do. It affects us in what we feel. It affects us in what we're thinking. So let us talk about it, such that we can keep enjoying the essence of living. So send an invite if you want to be part of this talk. Let's talk some more about this, how it affects us, when we're not emotionally healthy. It plays a huge role in our lives as individuals, honestly. User 561, I see you. Good evening. Leslie, good evening. You've You've opened the box again today.
Good evening.
No, I think that's what happened. Let me send to. Good evening. How happy Monday to you.
Yes, thank God. Another busy week.
I
The
know.
summertime is always the busiest one.
Mhm. Imagine this month. We're in the mid-month already.
Yes,
I was wondering.
so many things to do. We're
Tell
getting
me,
there. We're getting there. It's good. We're
tell me
getting there.
about it. I hope you're not emotionally stressed.
No, in this our family, we know how to regulate ourselves emotionally.
Yay, thank God for that.
You know that is, one of the side blessings and benefit of raising an autistic child is that you get to learn all these things about self-regulation,
Mm.
decompression, how to take time out, all those things, because you're teaching them, but you're also learning these things. Like, this is also good for me. Take time
Honestly,
out,
I work with
learn,
10 children, and trust
um,
me, before I
and then
started
you
working with
need.
them, I thought I had patience. Hey, they're teaching me grade A level of
Yes,
patience.
and you're
Esther,
super
I see
organized as
you.
well.
My
You learn to be
goodness.
super, super organized. We have our schedule for the whole year done before. By the time before the year has even started, our whole schedule has been written out.
I
And
can
that's one of the
imagine.
things of having a special needs child. You just have to organize, organize, organize.
Mm,
Because
yeah,
if anything is out of sync, it's like their world is almost broken.
I know. And
And
they
you have to
like
now
and they
help
like
them.
consistency, they like
Yeah,
routine.
they love it. Hey, that
If
routine.
they don't break that routine, please do not break it for them. Oh,
Don't break
otherwise you will
that.
suffer for it.
In fact, we have to tell our first child every time, please, let's finish today. He will tell you the whole week and the next week already, all the schedule. And he's like, please, please, can we just finish today? Please, let's just finish today. Now
Mm.
he tends to laugh about it now, but in the early days, he was like, he would tell everybody the next week program, the next week
And
schedule,
I
the
see
week.
you smile.
So,
I know, I know.
mm,
It's amazing. It's amazing what you
mm,
learn from them, honestly. You will learn
yes,
patience. Patience
you
for me
learn
is
to be
number
organized.
one. Oh my goodness.
Patience, patience is the big one. You
You
have to
will
be.
learn
You have to
patience, you will
be.
learn tolerance, you will
You have
learn
to be, or else you won't get. You won't. You
gratitude.
won't. Mm, or else
Mm,
you will. You will. You. What will happen is that you're not going to. When the moment to experience a change will come, if you don't, if you've not been patient enough to allow that moment happen, you will stunt it. So you have to learn that patience for
mm.
them to gain a new experience or a new way of thinking or doing something.
And they could be overly emotional. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
So
Mm,
you have to. Yeah, it's very, very important. Very important.
yeah. Thank God. Thank God for life. Yeah, so we're talking about this emotional health today. I don't know if you've consciously thought about your emotional health well-being, so to say.
That's constantly. It's a I mean, I've been taught and I've learned how to be self-aware. We thank God
Why,
for that.
Robert, I
It's
see
not
you.
like I
Susan, good
said,
evening.
I remember when I went to go and get counseling. And it's funny again because the person told me, "You didn't cry for your father passing away." And they're like, wow, this is serious. And I never really thought about it like that. um it could become from a culture, you suppress everything, you don't show tear, all this kind of rubbish. And then boarding school did the remaining damage. So first of all, broken home, and then
Yeah.
boarding school finish off the rest. And then you just learn to cope with difficulty. you
Mm,
know so yeah, emotional health is very important. It's funny that a few years ago we were doing a
Susan.
research. For parents, especially in terms of fathers and send children. And one of the things we noticed that the fathers that stay and um, do the work of helping their special needs child or
Mm,
children, the ones that stay are the ones who have actually who are actually emotionally grounded.
mm,
The ones that actually stay and do that work.
Yeah.
or have sought to get as much clinical advice and help and support. But unfortunately, a lot of men when they have special needs children are overwhelmed because it's the first time they've had to actually deal with their emotions, and
Yeah.
it's almost like being to a foreign land, and they don't know what to do with that. You don't know
I
what to do. You
mean,
don't know
no,
how to
nobody,
process
nobody
that.
plans that when they start
No,
planning
yeah.
about having
So a lot
children.
of them at some point will either walk in denial or run away or just like I can't deal with this kind of behavior, and that's the unfortunate thing, and that's why you see a lot more special needs children with moms than you do with dads. Now it's changing slightly, but there needs to be a lot more. But that was one of the I remember that research that was done. This was a few years ago. And yeah, that was a big one. They found out and simply because a lot of men are not emotionally regulated. A lot of men don't have good emotional health, and
Yeah,
that affects how they raise
their children.
or don't raise a special needs child.
Or how they even get
And
involved
yeah.
in the
So
raising of
how
those
much more?
children.
Yeah, yeah, and then how much more with a neurotypical child who is not special in anything when they don't even get to know them, and they need as much support and help as possible. They do, they might not be as challenged as a neurodiverse child, but they still need emotional, and that's a part that unfortunately a lot of fathers don't know how to connect with because they didn't really bond with the child growing up. In a lot of they miss a lot of that process, that function. Too many of them are results oriented. They're just looking at the results, good grades, maybe even sports, but they don't work that process of emotional health that goes with all of those challenges as well. You know, how do you deal with failure? How do you handle failure? How do you handle setbacks? How do you process that information? And if you are not emotionally healthy, you're just going to the way you cope, you inadvertently you pass that behavior as well because you have not done that work. And so you will see some parents, if they hit you, hit back. No, that's not the only way of dealing with difficult behavior. There are other ways with dealing with challenging behavior. It's not everything has to be physical, especially when it comes to boys.
I know, I
And so
feel it.
again, it's part of that. If you have not been emotionally healthy, you are going to do all those kind of things. And a result, there's a situation right now in America. It's very, very sad, but I think it's a big lesson to parents why you have to train your child to be emotionally stable. Why you, and especially fathers, why you cannot advocate for your children to respond to a difficult situation using violence. It's a big one, and it was I think it happened maybe a year or two ago, and it was between a black boy and a white boy. Could have been any race, but that's not here nor there. But I think the white boy said something. I don't know what it was, and the boy's response. I think something happened, and the boy's response. He
Nice
ended
and
up
female.
stabbing the guy,
Wow.
and in the process, the boy was unalived. I think the boy was maybe. I think they're both like 15, 16-year-old boys. So these are teenagers, and he unalived these boys and took his life. It's a big issue. And one of the things that when I was researching that case was I wanted to see what kind of environment this particular person that felt the way he needed to deal with it was to take a knife and stab this boy.
Another human like you. I
Yes,
mean,
and I'm like, that is a very extreme response. Like even when I was growing up as a child, I didn't grow up in the best of homes, but to resort to taking a weapon that wasn't something that we thought of first and naturally. Maybe as a grown man, but not as a 15-year-old. That was just not something. That oh yeah, if I'm feeling some kind of way, I'll just and it goes back to what kind of environment are these children being raised where this is what they're going to do when they're found in a difficult situation. You know, and unfortunately, the boy who committed this crime or this whatever it is, he has now been sentenced to prison. And it's simply because one, the family came from, there seems like there was a kind of broken, but two, there wasn't any strong male influence in a positive manner to deal with those kind of matters.
I mean,
thankfully,
you
I'm raising two sons.
wonder that if what was this child told, or how was this
Yes,
child raised? Is it that when somebody annoy you, get the next
you
weapon and deal with
just
them?
carry weapon, and it's so sad. It is
When
such a
somebody
sad thing.
annoys you,
And for that a teenager, that
I
for
mean,
me, I kept thinking a teenager to resort to that level, there's something seriously wrong with that, So it's a emotional health, and I'm saying this, it's it's gender neutral, but especially when it comes to men and boys, a lot of fathers have to be influential in how their children are structurally feeling, in terms of providing the structure and the environment for them to be able to express themselves emotionally. And we've got to get rid of this idea that because he's a boy, a male child, they cannot express emotion. And I think across the board, especially when it comes to Black people, Africans, we have this idea, this pattern of belief, and I think it's very destructive, that we deserve to be treated hard or harsh. We actually almost flaunt it as something to be proud of, that we can be treated, and it is counterproductive to changing a lot of the unhealthy masculine behavior that is being exhibited. It's very unhealthy. It's extremely unhealthy. Men need to learn to process their emotions, because
evening.
and I keep saying that I hate that mantra. I'm sorry, but I actually don't even think it is a scientific truth that men are logical. I'm like, no, that's a big lie. Yes, we may process a lot of things logically, but don't tell me we're not emotional. That's a big lie. It's a massive lie. If that was the case, why are so many men in prison? Why do so many men resort to very bad criminal behavior or very bad sexual behavior if they're not emotional? It's what they should say is that men have a lot of men, I'm not saying all, a lot of men have not learned to process their emotions properly. They've never thought they needed to learn how. All they've been taught is how to make money, but that's not here nor there either, because women are making money better than men nowadays, to be honest. But this idea that it's just strength, power, aggression, ego, and even this ego thing again is a problem, because it's unmanaged. We are not taught that you can manage your ego too. You can actually manage it. It is you can the Bible tells us, and the Bible tells us that we should take control and take our thoughts. You're not a slave to any and anyhow thinking. You can literally manage how you think. You can meditate. You can change your way of thinking. You can reframe your mindset to change it. You don't have to think in a particular way and that's it. Oh, that's the only way. You can. And again, that involves counsel. That involves changing your circle, maybe changing your friendship, being around people who think in a way that is healthy. Don't be around people who they are all about certain things that enable those behaviors that you are finding hard to control. Go and be people who have those behaviors that you wish to be like. Be around them and see what they do differently. You'll be surprised. But we can be emotionally healthy. We can. I just think that for the most part, a lot of our culture and society has never thought that men need to be so. But if you look at just the New Testament alone, it says completely different. Men are encouraged to think positively. They are taught. It's not just women. In the Bible, it tells that we should be kind-hearted. It wasn't talking to just, it was talking to men as well. It was talking to men. He didn't mention this is for women. It's talking. He said to all those who follow Christ. Christ is that great. And I've said this many times. There is not a human being on earth. There's no man on earth that can be stronger than Jesus. No human being can go through what Jesus went through on the cross. And yet he displayed emotion. He cried publicly that they saw him weep. So let's come with it. Let's
That's
stop this
okay.
nonsense
I see you.
that being a man. No, David was a warrior, yet he wept. He lamented.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was a warrior, a strong man, yet he go and read the Psalms. He learned to cry out to God. He even said, God, don't take your Holy Spirit from me. So we've got to stop this nonsense that just because you're a man, you're not stronger than those two. Most men cannot handle if they met King David in his prime, most men cannot handle him. The guy was anointed warrior. He was anointed. Jesus, on your best day, you're not going to be as strong as Jesus. Mentally, emotionally, physically. There's no human being that can go through what Jesus went through. And yet, why are we behaving like, oh, that's not what men do? Jesus displayed emotion, but he did it healthily. He showed us men how to do it properly and why it is necessary. He was going to raise Lazarus. He knew he was going to raise Lazarus from the dead. Yet he still wept.
Tag, I see you.
With the knowledge, he knew, but he still wept publicly. So I think a lot of these things is culture that doesn't know God, that doesn't know their creator, and has assumed a lot of unhealthy male behavior that is just not true. I have the privilege to raise two sons now, and I've worked with some guys, and I've seen that when you raise men to be emotionally healthy, they handle things in a very unique way. They know how to process emotions and how to regulate themselves properly. They know how to take time out. They know when to back away. They know how to de-escalate situations.
Okay.
They know because they have seen it. It's been modeled. They've been trained. Like, yes, I can handle my emotions. I know when to back away. I know when I want to feel or express myself in a manner that is worthy of my counsel as a human being. So yes, I hope that I've answered some of the questions.
So let me ask you this now. So can a person that is spiritually mature, can they struggle with emotions as well?
Yes, I think that's another thing that is another myth that I thankfully have learned to unlearn and learn to do better. Just because you are spiritually mature or you know God and everything does not mean that our soul still has to be renewed. Our mind still has to be renewed. So you can be spiritually sound, you can speak with angels and everything, but if your mind is not renewed, you're going to do some silly things. That's the fact. So we still got to renew our mind. We still got to reprogram our thinking. And that also helps us with our emotions. We still got to learn, because that's why you see a lot of things in ministry where you can see some men of God who are called, yes, but they never really dealt with childhood issues
or anger. Even.
They never really dealt with things that were in their soul, where things that hurt them. They never really did. And so in ministry, at some point, that thing will meet them. And you can't pray it away. You've got to be humble about it and go and get counseling with your big self. Yes. You've got to get counseling. You've got to go and get help and address those things that you experienced as a child or as an adult or as a teenager that have been buried deep inside. You've got to go and get help and get counseling. And that's part of the journey and growth that helps us to be mature in ministry. But you can be spiritually sound, but if you're not dealt with those sort of issues, you're going to make mistakes. And that's why you see certain men of God, even back in the day, some of those quote-unquote heroes, because they never dealt with some issues, you could see that some of them, they had anger issues. Yeah, they were anointed, they were doing quote-unquote miracle and everything.
Should we go to the story of Moses?
You see, it's still, so you need to still process those emotions properly. You still need to deal with those emotions properly. And we can, and that's why we have other believers, other people, other professionals, and even with finance, I say this all the time, even with finance, yes, it's good to pray, but in your praying, I believe the Holy Spirit will still tell you, go and read this book, go and get this information, go and do this interview practice, go and find out how this what this account is, balance sheet is, go to this particular, go and do this particular course. You're still going to learn to do stuff. It's not everything. Not everything God just bypass you and just do supernatural. No, some a lot of things are going to be. You got to do the process. You got to, because part of the journey.
Yeah.
That journey is part of your change. That journey of you improving and changing and learning stuff is part of that maturity. So God's not just going to supernaturally just give you money. No. So sometimes you're gonna go through some stuff, and sometimes you got to learn. You got to learn, got to process the thing. So yeah, part of maturity is being under other people's counsel. That's learning from others. All of those things is all part of the process. You've got to learn, and sometimes you have to unlearn some bad behavior, some things that may have helped you to cope. God will tell you it's time to drop that behavior. It's not good. You can't. This is not going to take you to the next level. And you can say, "Well, I made my money." God's like, that behavior now is time to, and you need to start finding. And God is very merciful. He'll probably lead you or bring things to your information. It's up to you whether you're going to take it. That's where sometimes we don't know. We're thinking that the Spirit of God is telling other people to do stuff, but they're not doing it because it's not like human being that will beat, like the devil that will beat you to kick you and force you. So we don't know, but we should. There are things and places and lessons where we can learn how to become emotionally healthy. And if from people are struggling with finances, you can learn. God is faithful; He will help. But you have to learn. You probably need to go and get a book or two about finances. Go and do some courses. All these things, they will help you. And it's funny, when you start doing those things, you find like God will just give you grace to start getting better at it. But it's when you don't want to learn, you just want to pray it out. And some people don't even know how to pray properly. Let me not even go there. But the bottom line is that in prayer, there's also action. God also requires that we too are learning and we're maturing, we're growing. And emotional health is not something we can bypass. We have to still do that work of submitting, talking through the things that have been done to, and even the harm we've done to other people as well. We've got to learn to admit we've done harm to others as well, and deal with that properly in a good environment, or else you're going to repeat those mistakes again, even in your big ministry.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you. So apologies to everyone, especially my regular guest here. Shimel, I wanted to contribute now because I don't know how much time you have to spend with us. Shimel, good evening. Dear, I say Happy New Year, happy many months, happy mid-year, happy all of the above. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining in. How are you? Thank you.
I'm fine. Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
We're fine.
Yes,
Bless God.
so happy to be back after 100 years.
In fact, thank God. God is still on his throne, so we're grateful.
Yeah. My sincere apology. The thing is,
I know this guy.
I'm usually off and on.
Yeah,
Hey,
I think
Mr.
I met
Leslie.
him on the
Good
Big
evening, sir.
Ones live. Yeah. Shamel, you remember Leslie?
Of course, yes. I remember Mr.
Okay.
Leslie.
JT, good evening. Thank you so much.
Yes, it is quite an interesting topic. Very beautiful one, anyway. And most times men disguise as strong men and we don't show emotion. But those things are
sorry,
just
Chanel, you don't show emotion publicly or you show it behind closed doors?
Excellent. That's a very good one. We show it behind closed door. There is a video I made recently, I think a week ago. I posted it a few days ago. And in that video, I made it clear. That there is nothing wrong in a man seeking help or crying. However, the bottom line is, may you not cry in the presence of those who are eagerly waiting for you to cry or waiting, expecting you to cry. May God not let you cry in their presence. Amen. You go somewhere else and cry, and you do your crying, you do your wiping of tears, and you come out positive and strong again, because that is what the Lord wants. It doesn't matter how you want to be open to people. The truth is, the moment you show your weakness as a man, you will, by all standard be taken for granted by so many people, no matter how they try to dress it. So it's not a case of being politically correct or otherwise. Yes, man can cry, man can ask for whatever for, but it's just like a case of a little child being pursued by a masquerade. If a little child is being pursued by a masquerade and that child comes around you to seek refuge and you begin to panic and you begin to run as well from the masquerade, you have not only let the child down, you have let yourself down, you have let your ancestors down, you have empowered the masquerade, you have damaged the sense of belonging of that child. So what you need to do in that moment is to confront the masquerade, even in your fear. And that is what a man does for the family. Even if a man is experiencing whatever he's experiencing, you are the strength of the family. You are the one that is being looked upon so that others will have strength. If you begin to tear yourself apart in their presence, that means you are just destroying their hope altogether. Even if you want to cry, fair enough. It's okay. Go somewhere, cry privately, and then you come out strong and laugh and tell them everything will be all right. You understand? I understand that part. Now, Leslie said a few things which I agree with, and some I have one or two things to say. We talked about respectfully. We talked about training up a child and making sure they don't respond with violence or being confrontational in a negative way. Those things are absolutely beautiful. Now, let me tell you the risk involved when you do that. Imagine me as a person, for example. I'm training up my child to be a very good person, respectful, polite, and all the good attributes that you can ever imagine. And the other man over there abandons his child. His child becomes a lion. And my innocent child goes out because daddy said, don't do this, don't defend yourself, don't do that, don't do that. And this lion of a child attacks my own child, destroys my child's life. And that is it, because I have tamed my child to become indolent, so to say. And my child knows what to do to defend himself. But because daddy said, no, you can't do this, you can't lift your hand when people are trying to buy you, you can't do nothing, just leave everything for God. No, I will not do that. Now that takes us back to the book of Matthew. It says, right from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence and the violent takes it by force. That scripture is not there for fancy. It is there for a purpose. Even God himself, God hardened the heart of Pharaoh. If we read our Bible carefully, because he wanted to destroy Pharaoh. He knows that Pharaoh is a very stubborn man. Okay, you are stubborn. I have displayed 10 plagues, yet you are feeling stubborn. You don't want to let my people go. Now, this time around, I'm going to harden your heart even the more so that I will destroy you. You get my point? So sometimes, as we are teaching our children how to be respectful, polite, and all of those good virtues, we must remember to squeeze in the book of Matthew, where it says right from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence. I will not teach my child to fold his hands when he's being beaten, when he has the strength to defend himself. Mind you, I'm using the word defend, emphasis, defend, not to fight, but defend. If you're doing that to your child, that is a disservice. You are not doing that child any good. You are bringing up a child that cannot defend himself. You are bringing up a child that cannot speak up and speak out. I want my son, my child, girl or boy, whoever it is, to speak up and say, no, you can't do this. That is injustice. I am not going to take that. Forget about me being polite. Forget about me being respectful. No, that is unacceptable. And stand up, because we live in a world where if you keep quiet all the time, you'll be taken for granted. There is nothing like, oh, don't worry, God is going to be, no. God has given us all it takes for us to defend ourselves, for us to, yes, God will will do some things for us, but God cannot do for us what he has blessed us to do for ourselves.
Okay.
So he will be expecting you to do those things and not just for you to fold your hands. And that is exactly this punishment we are going through in Nigeria. And that has given us what I call DDID, devilishly demonic individualistic development.
Wow.
As long as it is okay with me and my family, you see them praying. Prayer point number 1, no matter how hard the economy is, as long as my family, it is this economy will favor me and my family, and that is it. Nobody stands up for justice. Everybody is into themselves because they have not been affected. Look at what is going on in Nigeria. They kidnapped 40 children. They are still in the forest. And everybody looks unconcerned because they have not been affected. Their family not affected. Everybody is just acting like nothing is going on.
Okay.
So these are the things that, like I'll always say, every day of our life, every month, every year, we have to undergo the full cycle of education, which involves learning, relearning, and unlearning. There are so many things that we have been taught that are really wrong. There are so many things we have also imbibed through our environment and people telling us 1 or 2 things that has to be changed. Times are changing. We need to change with time as well. You know, I agree with a lot of things that Leslie said and you said as well. But at the same time, there are certain things we should. You guys said a lot of fantastic things, and especially when it comes to special needs children. They teach you how to be patient, how to be tolerant, and how to do quite a number of things. But again, you'll be shocked to notice, or will I say, to know that this is sometimes those behaviors that you see them display, they are learned behavior. They are behaviors that have been condoned over a period of time, and it becomes part of them. It can be stopped. It can be corrected. It can be changed, and they learn something new and become better. But because they have been allowed to carry on with it, and we give it names, this person has this condition, therefore they have to behave in a certain way. And this person runs with that kind of behavior. And before you know, that behavior becomes constant in their life, and it becomes impossible to change that behavior. Not because they were not able to change that behavior when it started, but because we have allowed that behavior to carry on. And we say, okay, this is how this person is. You know, and before you know it, it becomes that person's identity. And when something becomes your identity, even you yourself, you find it difficult to change it. If you look at it carefully, there are some people at secondary school level, which when you flash back now, we know these people as very stubborn, very domineering, they don't like to stay in class and things like that. And these people begin to act out in that manner. Even when they are supposed to act responsibly, they don't want to act responsibly because they have been known not to act responsibly. So they just want to maintain that status quo of a responsible son or daughter or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is why we need to be flexible in our teaching, especially as times are changing, life is changing, things are changing in general. And we have to be mindful of that. And one of the questions that you asked again is it possible for somebody that is spiritually empowered not to be emotionally endowed? Something like that. That's where I understand.
Can a person be spiritually mature and still struggle emotionally?
Okay. I would say 100%. 100%. The reason I'm saying 100% is because spirituality is a part. And emotion is also a part. There have been people in the days of old that were spiritually endowed, but they fumbled along the line. The likes of Elijah, he commanded lion to come eat up some children, making jest of him, calling him baldhead. And what has that got to do with his ministry for God? But because he has the power to do it, he did it. So he allowed his emotion overtake his sense of spiritualism. But God had to honor his request because he is what he was at the time, Elijah, Who am I not to honor Elijah? Okay, you called lion to come and eat up some children because they were calling you bald head. In this day and age, if a child should call you bald head, would you send your dog to eat up the child? You will never do that. Even because there are laws in the country governing your behavior, you will not do that. So somebody like Elijah, he fought that. So people like Moses as well. He was so angry that he had to hit the staff on the rock because he couldn't manage his emotion. He was so angry that he has to break the 10 commandments that he suffered to go and get. He was so angry that even his anger made it impossible for him to see the promised land because he could not control his emotion. Our Lord Jesus Christ, the master of all things, the author and finisher of our faith, he was also upset at some point in his life. He had to scatter the synagogue and told them, why are you using my father's house as a place of business transaction? He got upset. He was really angry. Even at the point where he was chatting with the Pharisees and Sadducees, he even indirectly but politely insulted them. That you Pharisees and this and that. So that emotion thing is different from spirituality. Now, if we bring it back home to some of our preachers in Africa, Nigeria, oh, look at them. You see how they stand on the pulpit and rain insults on people. Some will even tell you, I am not surviving with your tithe. To hell with your tithe. This is but you started off whatever petrol station you set up with people's tithes. You started off the school that you built with people's contribution. Now you're making money from the school. You have forgotten where you started. By all standards, those schools built with people's money, everybody should be sharing the dividend from the school. So we cannot even go into that. You see some preachers, when they talk, you'll be wondering, is this man really a preacher? Some preacher will tell you, don't marry a woman who cannot cook. Is that part of the things that we should be teaching people about salvation? Do you know how many thousands of people will break up with their wife or to be wife or to be fiancé or whatever because pastor said this and they have to follow? Now, there have been some people in the days of old that preached a certain doctrine. They have come back now to retract. Saying, some of the things that I preached in the past, I'm going to change them before I die. But there are so many people that have been led astray because you were preaching in that moment with your emotion. And people took everything hook, line, and sinker. And they have ruined their own life, ruined their progress, ruined so many things about themselves. We know in Nigeria, if you ask me, for free, there are certain people that when you see them, you know straight away the denomination that they come from. They don't speak to people. They don't laugh with people. They don't interact. They are just serious. Heavenly rays. So heavenly rays means they must not interact. They must not laugh. Yes. You have damaged their emotion, damaged them psychologically, damaged their psychic, damaged their way of life. So now it is something very difficult for them to pick up again. So you can see that emotion is quite different from that spirituality. Fair enough. You can be highly spiritual, but in terms of emotion, there are people that don't even know God. They don't believe in God, but they have learned and mastered the act of managing their emotion. That you even wonder, this guy, what denomination, what church do you go to? They will tell you, I'm an atheist. You'll be, oh really? I don't believe in. Wow, like
I see you.
They are just advanced mentally, psychologically, and otherwise, but yet they don't go to church. They don't know God. They don't believe, and they treat their fellow human being like a human being. Whereas there are people that are spiritually...
Clement has a question there for you, or a statement for you. Say, but they were not forced. Study to show yourself approved is a command.
Okay, they were not forced. We always say these things, right? We use that thing as a consolation. Look, not being forced. Some people will say, they no put gun for your head, make you put money now. No, there is a way people will look at you. There is a way you have connected with people that whatever you say becomes a command for them.
Up and share your views, yes.
You know, there is a way whatever you say to people will become like an order. Have you wondered how parents will go out together? Somebody will want to give you money or give you a favor when you are much younger. Your mom will look at you. She doesn't have to say anything to you.
God help you.
She will just give you that that look.
Bridget, I see.
In that moment, you will just say, "Oh, thank you, I'm fine, thank you." She didn't say anything to you. She didn't tell you not to take whatever they are giving you.
Oh, but you've been
only
trained.
the look. So you have been trained. That is exactly how all of these preachers have managed to train their members. So even when they say, "Oh, I'm not forcing you to give tithe and offering," you already know that you are supposed to do it. So let's forget about that issue of, "Oh, they don't put gun for your head. They did not force you to do." No, my brother. There is something called reverse psychology that they use. I am not telling you to do this. So I'm just this person that is telling you that I did not force you to do it had already told you in the past that if you don't do this, you are going to hell. Did you not hear when a preacher in Nigeria said, "If you don't give tithe, you go to hell"? Then all of a sudden, he's not telling you, not to give tithe is your choice. But you already know, he has already registered it in your psychic that if you don't give, you are going to hellfire. So you know that as there is something called standing order. If you put a standing order on any of your bank, on that very day, they will attempt to take that money. Whether you have money in your account or you don't have money in your account, it will go out. So some banks will even go as far as making the payment for you. So now you are owing
the bank.
You understand? So anytime you pay in money, they first of all deduct that money. That is exactly what is going on. So anybody that is telling you that, "Oh, they did not force you to," no, they have already given you a standing order instruction. So it's not a case of, I hear that a lot when people say, "Oh, they did not force you to do." No, they have forced you already. They have commanded you. They have imprinted and engraved that commandment in your psychic. So it is there already.
Yeah.
It is there already to guide you. So let's not pretend as if we don't know about these things. We know.
Okay, thank you so much, Shamil, for your contribution. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, my sister.
I see you're struggling with a bit of cold there. Maybe you need some pepper soup.
I am struggling.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for stopping by today. I hope I'm going to see more of you.
All right, Mr. Leslie, good evening, sir. And Debbie and everybody, I greet all of you.
Good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I love your contribution. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I will just hang around for a few minutes and then get on with it.
All right. Thank you so much, Shamil. Thank you.
God bless. Yeah.
So to our regulars, like I said, apologies. I just want to hear, this new people joining us. Everyone, let's let them offload their emotion or their emotional thinking or whatever it is. Clement, good evening. Have you been here on Inside before to start with? Good evening.
I have never been here. I don't know.
Wow. So you're welcome. You're welcome. So did somebody invite you or you just stumbled onto this live tonight?
I stumbled on it because I was looking, there's a particular person I was looking for, a doctor, a gynecologist, and so I was just scrolling to see if he's around, and so that's how I stumbled on this. But I just heard what he said, and I just have to say my own.
Okay.
My own is that I was born, my parents were in the Apostolic Church.
Okay.
When I come of age, I detach because they gather, they say at the end of the year, they say they hear the word of the Lord, that God said this. But as I join in life, I am of the Reformed Church. Okay, so as I come to that Reformed Church and their doctrines, and which I keep Bible side by side and study, I came to see some loopholes. That does not make me holier than them, but I begin to study the Bible. There's a science of studying the Bible called hermeneutics, which help you interpret the Bible properly. Once you get that, all these things come from your seeking, your searching. But if you are a layback person, this is what our church believe, this is what my pastor say, this is what I feel. All those are rubbish. You will wreck. If you follow the blind, you end up where the blind ends up, which is the ditch. So it's a personal thing to search and find out the truth. I've stumbled on Grail message, I've stumbled on so many things, but I've come to see that the Bible is the standard of measure, and I study to know what is the meaning of what the Bible, of what God is saying in the Bible. It doesn't have two meanings. That's why I talk about that hermeneutics, which helps you to understand things. So if you don't do that, you are going to shipwreck. Whether it is tight issue, whether there are major doctrines
Emotional
in the
issues.
Bible. It's for you to find out, and when you find out, stand there. Don't say, it's because it's my brother, it's because we were born there. No. When I go to village, I still go to my to the church because my church is not there. But on Sunday, I recognize, oh, this is where I start from. I just go and see what they are doing till the time I leave home. But I don't have to follow them and do what they are doing. So it is a very personal thing. I can take that excuse when you are growing up with your parents. You are not going to start fighting them that, no, I'm not doing this. This is what I see in Bible, and you are commanding this. No. You are under their roof. They are under their authority. But once you are matured enough, especially to leave home and be on your own, the search starts. You start to find your left from your right and know right from wrong, and not just know it, but be able to reject what is error. If you don't do that, it's your personal problem. Christ has spoken about that. You should find out the truth. He said, if you are deceived, it is you that has that problem, because the truth is there for you to seek and find out for yourself. If you don't do that and wait that until somebody tells me this, until this man says this, then anybody can tell you anything based on his own whim and caprices. And so if you fall in that place, you can't blame somebody. I've been in deeper life. I know some of their things and other churches and all that. I don't blame them. I took myself there, and since I took myself there, it was me who also discovered that, no, this thing is not right. And I came out of it, and I'm free. The truth is supposed to set you free. If it doesn't do that and you continue, it's up to you. So it's not an easy road to tread. It's a very frightening road to tread. But that is the nature of truth. It's divisive. It's not going to just everything goes, okay, well, that's what they say. Maybe if I reject it, everybody will hate me now. What do you expect? If you think the kitchen is too hot, you don't complain about it. Get out of it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Well, thank
that's what I
God.
can
Thank God
contribute.
for that. Thank you, Clement, for your submission. However, I'm sure some people may even have a bit of counter or whatever. I appreciate what you have said, and of course, it's true. You have to know the word of God for yourself, really. Fine, the Bible talks about not forsaking the assembly of brethren and all of that. But, and again, the Bible says you will know the truth and it will set you free. The truth from the word of God. But however, I see as these fingers are not equal, all of us cannot be as mature as you are. Some people, that's why you have what they call baby Christians, and it's only with a matter of time. I want to believe the moment you come to, you as well, you came to the realization of something propelled you to want to study for yourself, and you didn't start that journey when you were born. So it took time for you to get to that spot. And I tell you, it has nothing to do with age. Some people, until they're 50, before they get to that realization, look, I can read this word by myself. I can understand. The Holy Spirit is on the inside of me. He can interpret it to me and all of that. Not everybody gets there on time. Some people have to be spoon-fed. And then that is where the issue lies. Where are you fed spiritually? What are you fed spiritually. Even Jesus gathered disciples. He had to teach them. Okay? He didn't teach them heresy. He actually came to correct the heresy on ground. So this is like a structure, human structure that has been in place. The older ones will teach the younger ones, but what are they teaching them is the issue. Until the younger ones come of age to want to learn for themselves, what have they been fed thus far? So I'm grateful to God that you eventually go to that space where you find the need to want to study for yourself, show yourself approved, and get to know more. Bible said, it says, if you will know the truth and it will set you free. If you now know the truth and you're still in bondage, then I will question, what truth do you know? So maybe we should, those who have gotten to that space, pray for all other people that are still trying to find their feet. What is Jesus all about? Some people, because they're very new in faith, they might pick the Bible to want to study, they will struggle, and that's why they need to be taught somehow as well. But who is teaching them and what are they teaching them is the main thing. Otherwise, people will be manipulated with the word of God because they don't know their left from their right. So we have a lot of work to do as well. You're a disciple, Clement. You have to pray for the souls of people out there who are gullible, who are still struggling, who are trying to find the truth themselves. And this is, as much as Jesus would ask us to do. Go ye into the world and make disciples of all nations. But then the people making disciples of the nations, what are they disciplining them in? What are they teaching them? It's very important. So thank you so much for your contribution. A lot of teaching is draining people's minds. I know it teaches time to realize the need for change. Yeah, some people are so in there because the way they've so done it very systematically that they can't even think for themselves. I remember, I think I've shared here before, of a particular church I was in at the time, and the pastor was, giving prophecies and things like that. And of course, when you come out to the front to be prayed for and all, he started saying things about me, my family and all, which I already knew. How did I know? In the place of prayer, me to seeking God, I needed to know certain things so I know how to pray for me, for my family. So as this pastor was saying stuff, I wasn't bamboozled, I wasn't bedazzled or whatever. And then I think for whatever reason, because all the things they were saying to other people, you hear murmur in the crowd, hey, all those comments and all, So after the service, I was surprised. This pastor asked that somebody should come and fetch me and come. I got there and he said, is it that all the things I was saying to you, is it that you can't relate with them? Or I said, I can relate. I said, I know even much more than you have prophesied or you have told me. And guess what? And this is the thing that really annoyed me, to be honest with you. The pastor now said, how did I know? I said, sir, I'm also a child of God. I also pray and I hear the Spirit of God. In fact, he has showed me beyond what you only talk for a few minutes. I know what I know. I know I had to pray and fast for certain things to be broken or whatever it was. And I say, how dare he ask me? How did I know? Meaning I'm a baby Christian. I don't know my left from my right. So not everybody has this confidence. Not everybody has gotten mature to that level. Some people stand in front, you be fidgeting and be shaking and all of that is part of the subtle ways that some have discipled these people. So it will take the grace of God. Sometimes it's like a stronghold and it needs to be broken off. Some people are privileged to find maybe their family members praying for them. There's some churches that, I don't want to mention names, but you and I know them, especially way back in Africa, Nigeria, that you will ask who possessed you to be in such a place. The things they do, they're neither here nor there. And it's like, just like I think Leslie said, they've brainwashed people, or Chanel said that, it's like they've brainwashed you that you find it hard to even carry that Bible by yourself to say, okay, I want to know what the Bible says about these things. So we need to pray for one another. We need to pray for new converts, young converts who don't know their left from their right, who are still trying to understand this faith, that they are not brainwashed such that they find it hard to pick the Bible up themselves to study in. I'll leave it there. Thank you so much. And we'll go back to our emotions. So, Clement, before you go, let me ask you this question. Why is forgiveness important for emotional health? Let's ask Clement this question tonight.
I can only drag this into my belief system.
Go on, go
My
for it.
belief. Are you hearing me?
Yes, yes.
I see things from one view,
Okay.
and that view is from the biblical view.
Yes, yes, go on.
Okay. So having said that, there is a preceding condition that Christ in teaching about prayers has put there.
Okay,
Forgive
sugar.
others
Thank you so much.
as you have been forgiven. That is one of the conditions for your prayers to be answered. So
Forgive
that's a
us our
command.
trespasses as we forgive those who. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we should, as he forgives, we should forgive others as he also forgives us.
Yeah.
So you just know that that's a key. It covers a lot of things. What do you want to do? The means of grace that has been given is prayer. And if that is the only means of us getting access to him, and he gives that condition, there's no other way. He didn't say go and give all your properties to people that it covers it. No, that forgiveness is very important. And forgiveness helps you to be at peace with yourself. It's a way of, it's an act of faith, because why should I forgive you?
Wow.
The normal disposition of the human heart is always to the debased side. It's like you throw water now. The steep, the valley side is where the water likes to go. So the human heart is like that. If you do something to me, to do you back evil is easier. Yes, because
Yes, wow.
we are of evil parent. I'm talking about Adam now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so when you even talk of born again, I hope you know it's about cutting off the Adamic nature. So sin is not just what you do; it is what you inherited. Sin, it was not me and you that committed that sin; it was Adam, but he was our federal head, and by that token, it rubs off on us. Whatever curse was placed on it also affects us because we come out of them. So that emotional health of a thing, if forgiving people, I say is an act of faith, because you are now like, okay, oh, this thing, I have the power to do this thing, but this is what the word of God says.
Yeah.
I have to toe that line, whether I know it or not, but God has said, so it's a command. I just have to follow it, whether I understand it or not. It has to come that way. Because you don't sit down and question God. It's not your maid. And he told Adam, don't eat this fruit. The day you eat it, you will die. He did not go into dialogue with him. This is the reason I'm telling you this. He just told him what to do.
Yeah.
And he allowed him to use his volition, his free will to act. And he waited, and the guy ate. Immediately he ate. God came and asked questions. And the guy started to defend instead of agreeing. It was not the woman you gave me and all that. So it's very important for us to be forgiving, which is not a very easy thing to do, but it's possible by the help of the Holy Spirit. It's easy to forgive. I don't want to go into extremities of it, because if somebody kills your father and and you're aware, and it's going to take God for you to want to help that person. And Jesus on the Sermon of the Mount even say, those are the people you should pray for, which those who do such things. But we still have church in this country that you should pray for your enemy to die and that. But why did he send us here? He sent us here because of those people, those kind of people, to turn them back to God by loving them. So forgiveness is very pivotal when it comes to the issue of the kingdom of God. And I think if you also know that you have seen God forgive you, you have offended people, they forgive you. I think to whom much is given, much is expected. You should also be forgiving and be at peace with God, be at peace with man. So I think once that happens, there's balance in your emotion that, well, I really don't owe any man. Perhaps the depth will be what Jesus said, owe no man nothing except the love of God. Tell them about God. Share God with them. I have somebody that has done something to me very offensive. I'm thinking one of these days to share the gospel with him. That's it. Because you see, Christ didn't claim rights. Did he have rights? He did. Did he claim it? No. He was spat on. He was beaten. What came out of him? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So servant must be like the master and follow through that part of forgiveness. I'll tell you, in the environment with her, it's only God that can help you. Because, hey, there's a way you live with people and they know you have that kind of heart. You'll be preyed on. You become vulnerable.
Yeah.
But that does not negate the fact that we have to do it. Because the person that died for us commands it. We are the sheep of his pasture. We don't have any other way to go than to follow those injunctions. Yes, we can be like forebearers who were taken by slave trade to America and other places. They were kicking and and cursing and crying, but you must go. So whether you like it, you understand it, you don't understand it, you just have to do forgiveness. Is there's no two way out. So for me, that's what I can say.
All right. Thank you, Clement. Thank you so much. We're learning here. That's what we do here on Inside. We charge one another. We learn, unlearn, and relearn the right way, God's way. And that's why we always say the best place I can refer us to is the Bible. It cuts across so many aspects of human life, daily living, and all of that. As long as we can obey, it's hard because they say the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. That even within our bodies is waging war against itself, but then doesn't change the word of God. What does the word of God say we should do? And that is what we need to abide by in order to have this healthy emotional display. So to say thank you so much, Clement. Thank you for stopping by. I hope I'll see you. We come here live on Mondays, 8 p.m. UK time, where we talk about individual talk like this. And then on Thursday, 8 p.m., where we talk about marriage issues as well, because these are the two major aspects of life that either makes you live the essence of life or makes you, experience otherwise. Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again. Please still hang about. Towards the end, I have a puzzle. Today it's a tongue twister, just to kind of laugh when we finish all this serious talk, just to laugh before we go to sleep. So thank you so much once again. I'm going to come back to Elder Kenneth. Good evening. I don't know whether it's Susanna or Elder Kenneth, but let me just go by how you are, how I'm seeing you in my own box here. Elder Kenneth, good evening. We're talking about emotional health. And Father, so many other questions I wanted to pose, but I just don't want us to go too much. Maybe we can throw it out there, really. Elder Kenneth, can you speak now? Can you speak? Or do you want me to go to Susan? Okay, he's muted. Okay, maybe I'll have to go to Susan because of time. Susan, good evening. I hope you can speak. Yes, sis?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Tired.com.
Hey.
I was dozing up and down.
Sorry, happy Monday to you.
So to you all.
It is well. So we're talking about emotional health today. Maybe I should ask you even, Do you think there's a difference between emotional health and mental health?
Yes, because those two are different.
Okay.
Emotion
Thank you,
is
Clement.
what you feel. Mental is in your brain, in your head.
Okay.
So they are two different things. So emotional health and your mental health, they are both, they are different. And although they work pari passu, but then they can still come down to one junction if you merge them together. However, both of them they are
Yeah,
different.
when you merge emotional and mental, it comes out
Mental,
in behavior,
yeah.
so yeah. Okay, so we agree that. So the question here again is, can a person be spiritually mature? Because we've been trying to talk about this, and it's very important for us, as believers even. Can a person be spiritually mature and still struggle emotionally? What do you think?
Yeah, because
Carlton, thanks for coming back.
before
Thank
that
you.
person became spiritual,
Hmm.
there is the physical being before the spiritual being. So most times when it comes to men of God or our elders in the Lord, I always say, come, before you became a man of God, you were a man.
Hmm.
So it is
All
still
right,
blood.
Clement. Thank you so much. I hope to see you on Thursday. Thank you.
It is still blood that flows through your vein. There's no living soul that does not have emotions, no matter how strong
Or
or no
support.
matter how hard you think you are, you've
Hmm.
got emotions. So that's your spirituality does not rule out your emotions. And that is why some pastors, so-called pastors, they feel they are strong enough.
Hmm.
They don't tend to show emotions. They think it will bring down their ego, or will I say not just men of God, I'll say men per se. They will tell you, oh, because they are men, they don't want to show emotions. Hello, if you don't show your emotion, it's going to destroy your mental well-being. So please, emotion, spirituality, physically, mentally, they are all different. They all function differently in our human
Hey,
body.
good evening. Let's keep talking, please.
Yeah,
Go on.
so I don't want to go too deep because Clem and the first guy and Elder Leslie, they've really dwelt on it so much, and then we give other people room to talk. However, I don't want us to misunderstand or misjudge or misquote emotion. If you can accept that there's emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, so why would you now tell me emotional health is different from physical health or spiritual well-being, or they are all different. So what we should deal with them individually. It's just like telling me you want to deal with your children. You have 4 kids, you want to deal with all of them the same way. That's not possible. You have to deal with them differently because they are all different people. So that's how the emotions work, or our mental well-being work as well within ourselves. Waiting.
Okay, thank you. Susan, before you stop, can I ask you this one? So, as a person, what do you do to relax and recharge when life becomes stressful?
Well, I know you said prayer and some other things because I listened on. I wasn't for you, so because I was doing some
Okay.
other things.
Okay.
Yeah, music can help you recharge. Talking to somebody, we have a lot of things that can help us apart from prayer. Let's not even go to the spiritual level because some people will say, oh, everything is spiritual, but without the word of God, man, you are nothing. If you don't like it, go and hug transformer. You are nothing without the word of God. So the word, prayer, fine. Music, it depends on what you love to listen to, especially when your spirit is down. If you cannot talk to yourself like David spoke to himself, then you allow others to talk to you. You listen to music. Like you said, journaling. Some people enjoy doing it. I love to shop. Man, go shopping, girl. It's gonna
Really?
help
Wait,
you.
wait. Is it
Yeah.
window shopping
No,
or
no,
shop?
no. I do the real shopping. That kills, you know.
Really?
Oh yeah. So there are still things that you can do. You can go and play game. You can watch movie. You know, you can just go for a stroll. You could go to the gym. There are a lot of things that would just, you know, help you unwind. And then by the time you
Retail
come back,
therapy. Okay.
yes, so
Yeah.
I know it's important to, or just let somebody just send you money. That money, just once you hear that alert, pakam, omo,
Did you see
you
that Barrister said he will come and live with you, so you take him shopping?
to leave all those things. Let's
Hey,
just
we only buy female stuff, except you will wear
that's
skirts.
yeah, and my size, I only buy my size as well. So you know,
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't do gender shopping.
Okay, I'm putting you on the spot now because I want to break this down. There's so many questions here. So, which emotion do you find easiest to express yourself? If you want to share, really.
Whoa. Emotion, you know, because it's very easy to cry.
Wow.
It's very easy. Well, you
Don't
can.
say it's easy or
Well,
anger,
I'm talking
baritone
for
as how.
myself. I can talk for myself. I'm speaking for myself. I can, you know, maybe probably that is why when I'm in that acting mood, I could play any type of role. I could just stand and start crying.
You know what, Susan? I love to drink ice water. Maybe I'll come to you for ice water.
No, it's part of emotion. Apart from crying, laughing
Yeah,
is also emotion. Like Bariton said, anger is still emotion.
of
You
course.
know, so there are a lot of things that governs emotion. It's not just the bad one. The good, the bad, and the ugly is an emotion. So there's no how that you cannot, except blood is not flowing through your vein, or you know how to pretend.
But
For
maybe
those
maybe
that
we should
know,
do a research here. All the men on this platform right now, have you ever cried before, as in with tears? Let's see how many will say yes, or let's see how many will say no. I manned it up. I
I'm a
sucked it
man,
up.
macho man. Story for the gods.
Oh
Even
my
like
goodness.
Leslie said, oh, training up a special need child, you know, brings out the emotion in you. That's because you are part of the training. I know somebody who is still part of the training, but the emotion is not there. So because you've got passion for it, doesn't mean that B has the same passion. You know, even when he was saying, I'm like, now because you did there, you answer present. Some men, once they realize that their child has special needs, they take off. You will not see them again.
But you will not
If
see the
some of
brick
them
light.
even, so if some of them even when they are there, it's as if they are not there. So I know somebody who has, but you know, the genesis of their problem is this child. And I keep telling them, I say,
A
come,
lot.
I know the genesis of your problem is this child. As if you can find somebody that can take care of this child, half of your problem is solved.
Out, yeah.
Because it's not everybody that can handle such. And most of our black people,
It
they
could be
shy away from it. They
emotionally
shut
and
under the
mentally
top,
be
yeah.
overwhelming.
If some of them don't even want to accept that their children have special needs, they don't want to accept that. They just believe that what God cannot do does not exist. You know, you know that kind of thing. You're seeing the problem there. You're still. We know we should
Trust
speak
God and all, yeah.
positively, but you know, I like the real people that says, I know this is here, oh, but my God, my Redeemer liveth. You know, don't come and start doing blind eye to say, what God cannot do does not exist, my child. Blah, blah, blah. You can see the whole features. You are still, you know, I just feel sorry for them. And when you talk about it, you guys will quarrel. So let
Sorry,
me just,
Susan. Elder Kenneth said, yes, he will cry in the toilet, not in the presence of his wife, not in the presence of his kids.
really? No, why toilet? Ah, you think if they see you cry, it will reduce your ego? He
Or
wouldn't.
they will not see you as the man that you
As the
are.
man, you know,
Not easy. But some
no.
people aren't comfortable and really struggle with vulnerable feelings. Some people, well, whether male or
Yeah.
female, I guess. Okay.
Anyway, somebody like my uncle, if you want to get money from him, just cry. He will empty his wallet. He doesn't like those
Give your
people to
uncle's
cry.
details to baritone. See,
He
see.
doesn't like insult.
Oh
Even my
my,
husband, if I when I start crying here, if the things he did or the one he did not do, he'll be asking, please.
oh my
In my
goodness.
head, I'll be like, what you don't do now? When you ask me to forgive you, are you planning to do something? You know, the things you just, I'll be like, well, why you they tell me sorry now? What is all? Just let me cry it out. You know, sometimes
Yeah,
it's good to just allow yourself to cry
crying
out.
before your partner could work,
It helps.
but before your
It
kids isn't
helps.
quite advisable. Just my view. Okay. Well, maybe.
But you know, I remember when I lost my son's dad, I did not let my son to see me cry because I felt if I cry, who is going to uphold him when he cries? You know, I just felt like I felt I don't know what I felt that period, but I made sure I never cried in front of him. I was always trying to give him that strength. So even was it last week Thursday, I picked him up from school. We just went to the graveside unannounced. And he was in the car, he was crying, you know. I
Oh,
said, it's good to cry. You know, it's been a while we came to see him. I said, see, I'm sure your dad will be smiling that you are all grown up. You know, he was like, you know, he was crying. When I turn and look at him, he will give me this plastic smile. And luckily, I bought sweets for him. So I said, oh, I got sweet for you, but because you're sad, I can't give you. Then
yeah.
he said, okay. Then after a while, he now smiled. You know, this plastic just showed the teeth and took it
Like,
back.
I'm okay. Don't
I'm
worry.
like,
Yeah.
that no, this kind of smile is not it. But you know, he didn't want me to see. I said it is good to cry. You know, it helps you, it heals you. Sometimes crying will just heal that emotion, that pain that you cannot explain to anybody.
Mm.
So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much, Susan. So here is my challenge because as you're all talking, ideas are coming to my head as well. So how then do you show, especially your male child as a man now, that it's okay to cry? Because if they've never seen you cry, that means indirectly you're teaching them not to engage with that side of their feelings. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too much out of the
Yeah, I
box.
talk about it. I don't. It's not as if I don't cry in
How about
front of
crying in
him.
front
Like
of your wife?
when I'm in pain, I cry. There was a day I fell off from the bath. I was just stretching to get my flannel, and I slipped off and came out of the bath. Almost the I my mind. I was then
Oh, sorry, Susan.
he came and then he saw me, he started crying. I'm sure he flashed back because he was the one that saw his dad on the floor. So
Oh,
he really flashed back. With the pain, I stood up. I got strength from his cry and I
wow.
stood up. And I was like, I'm glad you're in the house. Imagine if I was the only one in the house. So I came in, said, Mom, are you okay? I said, no, my back. Oh, please come and rub my
Oh,
back. You
yeah.
know, we both cried together. I saw you climb my back, do this, do that. He said, Mom, it's okay. What do you want me to do? I said, it's good to
Oh,
cry. Then I will use one eye and look at him if he's crying. I said, that's he when I
oh,
scream more, he will scream. I said, good. I said, cry out, cry, cry, cry. When I finish my drama, and I say, how do you feel now? He said, what do you mean? I said, how do you feel that you've cried? Is that how much you love me? He said, we just talked about it, and I tell him, I make him know that it is good to cry. It is very good. It's very therapeutic to cry.
you only solo call. You only shed tears of joy. Tear not tear, or at least it will still come out from the same place.
Of
I've
course.
I've so much laughed at the puzzles here, the tongue twisters here, that tears were coming down. So it wasn't like it's emotion really as well. Not that I mean of my own talking to you now, you can't see me crying for no reason. But I so laughed that tears were coming out. It's part of the emotion. It just has to come out somewhere. Otherwise, maybe my laughter will be strange or something else. But yeah, but thank you for sharing, Susan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Elder Kenneth, let's hear you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Elder Kenneth.
Good evening, woman of God, and good evening, everyone aboard and those in the comment section. How's everybody doing today?
Bless God. Thank you, sir.
That's
Hope you're
good.
good
That's good.
yourself.
Yeah, we're surviving.
So I don't know if you want questions or you want to share generally about this emotional health, especially from more from a man's perspective, because we want you men to be in touch with your feelings right now.
Of a truth, the only time I feel that I cry in the public is when I lost my dad. I don't think I've ever cried in the public ever since then, and that was 93. So
Wow.
I don't think so. Even when I cry, my son is crying like a baby, I will say, "You are a man. Come on," you know. It's only the mother that will say, "Oh, leave me, let it cry," but me seeing it cry.
But wait, so Elder, I said to you guys, the more you're talking, ideas are coming to my head. Have you ever shown anger where your children are, sir?
That one I will say is before, not now again. No.
Okay, before. So
Yeah,
anger
before.
is emotion.
Yeah.
Crying is emotion. Disappointment is emotion. So why
No,
do you choose
the
one?
truth, woman of God, the truth is that is the way we were brought up. We were brought up like a soldier, not to cry in the presence of woman, and I think in the presence of people, if they're going to feel that you are not a man, because that is how we were brought up. Of the truth, the only time I see my father cry as well is when he lost his dad as well. 98 something. So
So
that
you
is just the
you
fact.
saved yours for that.
The same thing with me as well. The only time I feel that
Wow.
in the presence of people or in public is only the time that I lost my dad. Not that I don't cry when there's some
Of
certain things,
course.
when things are not going wrong way, or maybe the time of when I want to speak, communicate with the Heavenly Father, those emotionally, but not in the presence of my kid, not in the presence of my wife. My wife hasn't seen me in any way for the past 17
Okay,
years
so
plus now. He can never see me crying or no. I do cry, and the truth of the matter is that every one of us have emotion. There are all different type of emotion, but when it comes to
of
that one
course.
of cry, I don't know about
Me, I
other
see
men, but
you.
I'm saying
Faith
for me,
Baker, good evening.
it's no for me because I am not brought up in that way for my wife to see me or my kids to see me crying. You know, everybody entitled to their own opinion, but for me, I haven't done that in the presence of my kids, not even my wife, not even my siblings. I would say, okay, the only time we cry
Wow.
together, the only time we cry together is when we lost our dad. Yeah,
So
apart
so
from that,
so
no,
can
no,
I
no.
sorry, sir, can I ask you what is going on in your mind? Why do you feel the need not to cry in your wife? Forget the children now.
The truth, I've said it before.
Forget the children. I mean your
No,
wife.
how can I explain this? How can I explain this?
Try us,
Okay, let me try and explain it in a way that I understand or the way I feel.
please.
Crying in the presence of my wife, I think she's going to feel emotion as well and start crying with me.
Oh. But there's nothing bad in
Yeah,
that.
and that is not the way we were brought up. That is the truth. My wife do cry in my presence. I'm the one able consoling her at times. When things are not going well, women. For me, I feel it's just women emotion. That is the thing of a woman. But to me, I haven't cried in her presence. Even when I remember, yeah, I remember when she was in hospital in labor. I went to the toilet and cried, but she did not know. Went to the toilet and cried and prayed, but she did not know. Those are the things I'm saying that it's difficult for a man to cry in the presence
Wow.
of his kids and his wife. Because several times I saw my son crying. We were the ones say, "Oh, come on, blend up. You are a man. You don't need to cry. You need to blend up, man." So talking of him seeing me crying, so I feel somehow that emotion is not in our DNA, the way we were brought up. It's not in our DNA. But I don't know about others. But for me, I haven't cried in the presence of my wife, not in my kids. So that thing, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm sure it's good. I don't sure it's gonna happen.
It's very funny.
Yeah, that is just it. Because we were told when we were growing up, men don't cry, men don't cry, men don't cry. You need to know, no matter what you are going through, is
Man
equal
up.
to a man. Is
Talk
is
it
equal
up.
to a man. Those are the way we were brought up. So see me crying now at my age now is like, oh, what is going on with that? I haven't seen that cry before.
Midlife
So
crisis, maybe.
but the only thing my daughter know, I don't know how she know that the moment she see me silent, she know that there is something wrong, and she will be the one to call. Oh, Dad, I know something is not right, because she always know. The moment she see me silent, not saying anything, even to her, yeah, she know that there is something wrong. I feel that is the only emotion that my daughter understood, that the moment he's silent, not talking, there is something that is bothering him. So that is one of the things that I know. But cry, she haven't seen me cry since she was born, and not even the rest of them see me cry in the present. So that is what I have to say. But different type of emotion, even at times when we're praying, at times you feel, yeah, the presence of the Holy Ghost, and you cry as well. Those are another type of emotion. Your anger as well is an emotion. It's an emotion as well, but that one is not about the crying. Yes, we express our anger in the public or in any place, even in the church. But take cry, that one is not in the DNA of African man. I don't know. I'm
Okay,
saying for my own.
African
No?
man. Okay, now you're nailing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
For an African man, I don't know. I was not there where that Leslie was speaking, but I don't know about the rest ones. But I'm saying for me, it's going to take that kingdom come for me to cry in the presence of my kids, and my wife.
So, Elder Kenneth, would you say you have a healthy emotional health?
The emotional health. Did I say?
As in you're on top of your emotions, whether anger, whether to cry, whether resentment, whether your feelings, all those emotions that comes as a result of maybe what you're thinking, situation.
Yeah, I would say it's 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's 50-50. But I would say it's 50-50 because there are some times when you feel emotion, you just say God is in control. There are some times when you feel emotion, you say, oh God, why is my case different? I don't know. I don't know, because I always say it for me. Oh, why is my case different? Why is this thing not going on? But at times I will
Frustration,
just say,
yeah.
it is well. I start singing my song. It is well with my soul. All those that I would say it's 50-50. That's time you feel frustrated, like something is just wrong somewhere. You don't know how to put it in order. So to
Yeah.
me, I would say it's 50-50, not a 100% earthly emotion. Or I don't know. That is for me.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing. See, when I go to God sometimes and I'm singing a song without saying any prayer, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. I'm like, not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord. Meaning, I don't know how to put it. I'm not praying for anybody. I can't even pray for myself right now. I will sing that song, sing and sing and sing until I go into worship or something. So yeah, those emotions are there. So my question now to us, see the way we're expanding this emotional health talk. Why is it so easy? In fact, you get angry with a child, you show it, they see that you're angry. Why is it that when you feel that emotion and you feel the need to cry, you now run to toilet to go and show that emotion? You don't want your child to see that emotion. Or when you feel frustrated with what they're doing or what they're not doing, you show it, and they know that dad or mom is frustrated right now, or they are annoyed with you, or they're angry with you. They see that. So there are emotions as well. So you're choosing which one to let them see and which one not to let them see. Let us reason together. I'm coming to let me come to Shan. Shan, good evening. And I'll come to you shortly, Queen. Good evening, Shan. Happy Monday.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I hope you're good yourself.
Yeah, I'm fair.
Good.
Dealing with emotions as well. Great
Oh,
topic.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, you care
But
to share? No, you don't have to. I'm just asking. If you want to share, you can DM me later, yes? We can process it
yeah,
together.
I think I have to because it's been episodes of it.
Oh,
But for now, for here, I think I can share something. But
okay. Please feel free. Let's hear your views.
I think I'll first start by responding to what everybody else was saying. I have a contrary belief, and I wish that if we could maybe try to explore and make it a normal thing for anybody to cry in front of anybody. No, I'm not anybody, like in front of your people, like your family. For
Yeah.
me, I would actually feel very okay, my man or my husband crying in front of me. Actually, now I remember when I was dating, I think we're having issues with my boyfriend, and that issue I contributed really like to the biggest percentage. And he was really a good man. He was a very good man when it comes to he respected a woman. He respected me. He was no violent person, and that's what I liked about him. So I remember that moment when we were having issues, and we are, we quarreled. After quarreling, we calmed down, and then, of course, as women, sometimes we go overboard. And then I saw him crying. That thing touched me. It touched me, and I told myself, okay, I think I need to first calm down now. I think I've gone overboard. I have, and then him crying even made me calm myself down from that anger and emotions. And then I told myself, okay, relax. And then I again tried to like calm him down, tell him, and then I immediately even started apologizing. Then he was also apologizing, and then we found ourselves just working it out and working on and talking about whatever it caused the quarrel. So I think for me, I would be very okay with a man crying in front of me, though I am me, and I am different from other women out there. I have had this conversation very many times with my friends who are boys, and 99% of them were saying never, 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 never can I cry in front of a girlfriend or a wife. And their reasons is related to the upbringing that Elder Kenneth mentioned. Because a lot of men were told never to cry in front of a woman. If you cry, it means you're not a man. You're a weak. A man is supposed to be strong. You're not supposed to cry. And then women are also told that if a man cries in front of you, that man is weak. So it makes it very hard for also men to share, to cry in front of women, but also women to respond in a very negative way when a man,
Oh, see, because
breaks down
nobody's
in
teaching
front.
anyone. Yeah, how?
Yeah, breaks down in front of them. So I think all these components we're talking about, just it's rooted. It's 100% how we were raised and what we were told, and how I wish we changed that.
Well,
I would be if I were a man, I would be very okay crying in front of my son. Why am I doing that? Not like to make him feel like I'm weak. I think it has nothing to do with you being weak, but it has everything to make it seem like it is normal for anybody to cry, because at times you're even crying, you're releasing whatsoever, it's tired, even if it is anger, pain, frustration. Sometimes I myself, I cry and I feel like I'm better. I feel like, okay, I don't even have to talk about it to somebody.
I see you.
But again, at times you cannot speak about a problem to someone. You can even speak while crying, like present, like express whatsoever is going in your life while you're crying.
Yeah.
Several times when I'm crying, I'm even talking about what is angering me and at the same time crying. But maybe I cannot just start talking about it when I'm not crying. I feel like it's very hard. But that emotion coming, tears rolling, and then I'm also speaking about whatever is stressing me out and maybe the problem. And then after ranting, crying, and I'm fine. Someone will understand that, okay, this is what is causing. But at times it's very hard actually even for men. It's very hard. In my conversation, it's very hard for young men to talk to it's even becoming more harder for them to even talk to fellow men. Remember, they can never express any problem they are going through to a girl because they see a girl will make them look weak. But now they are even, because of several reasons, I can say that they don't even want to express a problem to their fellow men. So how are you going to solve a problem if you don't express, if you don't cry about, if you don't show that emotional side of it, So I would really encourage, maybe, I know it will be very hard to change, but very hard for the millennials and other ages to change. But if we could start with us, like if there are some girls or men of my age, could start with them and make it normal for you to cry in front of a child. I think even that it teaches a child that sadness, grief, frustration are just natural feeling, like normal part of life. And as I mentioned, it builds empathy. I told you how I built empathy for my boyfriend, and then I even realized that, okay, I think I was on wrong. If you see someone breaking down, that means they don't have any other option than to just, cry. And if they're crying, they're speaking to you. So it builds empathy. Maybe the only thing, like to do it differently, to explain, especially to a child. Because a child does not understand. We're saying, why is mommy crying? Why is daddy crying? Did someone beat? And for them, they know just if you're crying, they have beaten you. That's what they know, maybe from school. So maybe you just to have to explain the reason why you're crying. But you also can tell the child that, okay, it's because of this. Like, try to give the child like age appropriate, how would I say it? Like age appropriate reason, like try to explain in a way that a child would understand, so that he knows that, okay, dad is crying because of this and this, but you don't have to go that deep. So
Just
I
so they
think,
know it's part of life. Yeah.
yes, part of life, because that's how they will grow to even handle personal things. And again, in my conversation, we think we all know that the statistics of men eliminating themselves, I don't want to use that word, is very rampant. It's increasing, and this is part of the reason, because they don't want to express whatsoever you are going through. And you telling someone what you're going through, your problems, challenges, it involves aspects of emotions, expressing those emotions. But now if you are told not to express your emotions to certain kind of people, how are you going to solve the problem, the issue? If it's unemployment, it's poverty, what relationship issues, how are you going to go through them? Marriage issues, how are you going to, if you don't want to express your emotions? And emotions most times even comes with breaking down, tears and all that. So I think if we could just normalize crying for a man as a part of life, nothing to do with they're going to judge you, you're weak, you're what. No, it's just part of life.
I bet those men are thinking they're talking like women, these women are talking like women, but I mean, really? Seriously? Weak? Anyways.
Yeah.
So, Shan, let me ask you the other question, the second question here. Why is forgiveness important for emotional health?
I think forgiveness, first of all, forgiveness is you letting go of, let me say, someone that hurt you or what someone did to you.
Yeah.
If you forgive someone, I know several times people say it's easy to forgive but very hard to forget. But I know you forget with time. Of course, you're not going to forget in a day, 2 or 3, 1 week, but you're going to forget with time. But that process of forgivingness, maybe it requires you. Actually, I'm going to talk to you because I think I also need to go through that because of what I'm going through. Yeah, but I think in the process of you forgiving someone, there are conversations involved. You're going to have one-on-one engagement with that, because you cannot give someone when you cannot forgive a person when you've not interacted with them. You can tell, let me say somebody hurt me today, like this in real. I got hurt by a family member today. Now I tell myself, okay, I've forgiven them. No, I'm telling myself that I've forgiven them, but I don't know that I've forgiven them. So you need to have that one-on-one conversation. When you're having one-on-one conversation, you're going to talk about whatsoever caused the issues, solving the problem and all that. And that is also contributing to your mental health, as you let out whatsoever caused the issue and made you anger at each other. And then, so conversations are coming in, but also expressing, suppressing and all that. So in the process, forgiving each other even elevates more your mental health. So it's just a matter of conversation and going through whatsoever happened, but also letting the other person know that I've forgiven you and he or she has forgiven you. Yeah. So
All right. Thank you so much,
that's very,
Shan.
very
Thank you.
important.
It's amazing. Emotional talk. We're almost doing men versus women now, so to say. But God has created every human with emotion, whether you suppress it, whether you were taught how to suppress it, whether you're hiding it, whether you are in denial of it, it is there. It is there, and you know it. Whether you're a man or a woman, it is there. Anyways, I'll leave it there. Queen, good evening. Thank you so much for joining in. Queen Catherine, is this your first time on Inside? Queen, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Is this your first time on Inside?
Yes.
You're welcome. Wow. Did somebody invite you or you stumbled on this live? I really am a bit curious.
No, I just came across the live, that's all.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for joining us. So we've been talking about emotional health, and I'm sure you've been hearing what everybody have been saying. I don't know what your take is about this emotional health we're talking about, but let me find another not too complicated question to ask you. So what do you think are the signs of good emotional health? Maybe I should start with that with you.
Just having a sense of well-being and looking after yourself.
Okay.
Make yourself your priority. That's all you need to do.
Okay. In terms of your emotional health. But
Yeah, put yourself
Queen, sometimes the way you feel, it may not necessarily be caused by something you've done. It could be something somebody did to you, or it could be circumstances, situations surrounding you that has brought about certain emotions you're expressing or you're showing.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't let it get to you too much because then it only puts you in a state of depression. So you try as much as possible to let go after a while, although it's hard, but you just have to try and move on. And you
Okay.
just pray about it because that's the only thing you can do. Just for God to give you strength to just be at peace.
Yeah. Okay. So do you reckon forgiveness has to do with emotional health as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's difficult to forgive, but sometimes you just have to try. I mean, we're all human. We find it hard to forgive people even when they've done things to you like a long time ago. Because I do have a few friends like that whereby they haven't forgiven each other of things of the past and all that. So it's quite bad. You don't want to be living your life like that. So you just have to try your best to let go of things. Like if you don't want to talk to the person anymore, or you just say hello, hello, and goodbye, and that's it. You don't have to hang out with the person, but at least you just say hello once in a while and just try and let go of whatever has happened in the past, because there's no point keeping it in. For how long are you going to take all that to your grave or what? So you just have to let go after a while and move on. That's all you can try and do.
Okay. So there's so many aspects of.
But
Okay, go on. Yeah, go
you
on.
just have to try your best. That's all you can do.
I know sometimes we struggle. That's part of it. Sometimes we struggle. So I'm sure you've heard of mental health, physical health, and now we're talking about emotional health. Have you ever I mean, this is a personal question, but you don't have to answer really, but just kind of put it out there. Have you ever sat down with an emotion you're struggling with consciously, really, and how did you deal with that? Because we're trying to keep it as real as possible here.
Yeah, only when my parents pass, that's all. Any other thing in terms of personal or relationships, I don't let it get to me.
Oh.
I can just move on because there's a lot to life. I go about my business and yeah, I live my life to the fullest. The only thing that hurts me is just my parents not being around, and that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow. Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you. I'm gonna come to baritone. I think somebody dropped off there. I can't remember. Baritone, good evening. I know you have a lot to say as well because you've been chatting with Debbie, Leslie. Okay, Debbie was the one that dropped off here. Debbie, I don't know. I've been trying to invite you back. I don't know whether you and TikTok have started your quarrel again. But Baritone, good evening. How are you? Oh, can you
Evening,
speak?
Austin. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Thank you so much,
Good
Queen.
evening. Good evening, everyone. And sorry, I just came up because I was trying to type a few things there, and I discovered that the word count that TikTok
You
gives
can
you
only
doesn't
type
give
so
you
much. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it doesn't allow you to express your point with conviction.
Okay,
To
so
be able
you're here
to
now. I
land.
mean, the floor is yours.
Yeah, it's a very nice topic, and I sorry I came early and then went out, and because I've been dealing with all sorts of things,
Okay.
so I didn't hear. I didn't hear. I came back when Susan was talking, and I
Oh,
didn't hear what Leslie said, but I did hear a lot about. I mean, I heard what
did
Apostle
you hear
said. You
Shemel?
know, no, I didn't,
Okay, all right.
but I heard Apostle and Susan.
Okay.
Of course, I know that Susan and Apostle have opposing views, but what I want to say is a bit. I think is more aligned towards Apostle Kenneth what he said
Okay.
because I mean I know you see let's be honest. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with crying. I mean, crying is good. It relieves you from the inside.
So it's where
But
you do the crying that
exactly. I let's
really?
not let's because if you look at it, you want to tell me except you want to tell me why you really want me as my spouse for me to sit in front of you and cry. What is the obsession about
It's
crying
not
in front
it's not
of your
obsession. Okay, why would
okay.
why would Elder Kenneth leave his wife? He wanted to cry. He left the wife and ran into the toilet to cry.
Okay, let me say a little about that because you see, you have to look at it from a natural and a historical context and nurture. A man, a man, when you look at it from a point of view of man, husband simply means the master of the household. Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of people depend on him to stand straight to be able to, because that idea of not crying shows that he is up to the task of his job. Yes, it builds a psychological backbone
Does it
for
really
so many
though?
other. It does. Oh, now, okay, look at it. Do you know that as the man, the father of the house, crying in front of his child, do you know that your child, you could be the bulwark, you could be the backbone, everything your child depends on, and you start crying in front of that child, you could break down everything in terms of security that he has ever had. Maybe he's being bullied in school. Maybe things are happening, and the moment he comes home and hears his father, he feels that security. And then this man starts crying, and that child goes to his room and sits down. Hi, God. this person that I could depend on, turning to be what you could be, what the problem. So if you are, situations differ. There are some homes where the man chooses that he wants to be sitting in front of his partner to cry and his children. By all means, let him go on with it. If it works for him,
You're making it sound so silly or something.
because it seems the obsession is crying in front of your partner. I think the important thing should be that crying is good, and we can stop at that. Because look at it. It's not only, Kenneth said, African culture. It's not only in the African culture. Because maybe except you look at it from the point of view that culture is, look at it from the transferability of culture. But you look at all cultures, the Greek culture, Roman, all these cultures, you'd find that the man finds it hard to cry. Now, we have come to the conversation that crying is good for your mental health, which I do agree with. I think it's easier to cry before your partner or in the midst of your partner than to cry in front of you. You see, St. Paul said, there's nothing wrong in eating meat, but I will not eat meat if it will cause the downfall to certain people. You understand? It's not the eating of the meat that is wrong, but what is it doing to the psyche of your little child? That is the point I am coming from, I'm making here. You see, the man of the house is meant to protect. Because the moment your wife, the wife leaves, or the woman leaves her father's house and goes into the husband's house, that man becomes her father. That is what technically it is meant to be. And so she sits down. Some women are stronger than some. Let's face facts.
Of course.
While some can deal with the idea of their man crying and they can comfort the man and make the man feel, look, we can handle it together. Others will be like, go inside. This man that I thought is my security look at him sitting down crying like a baby. And some will say you're crying like a woman. So there is nothing wrong in crying. I subscribe 100% to it. But I think it behoves the man to think again where you're crying. Be careful, because it could be a stumbling block for those who are looking up to you. It could be a source of downfall to those who see you as a source of emotional and psychological support. That's where I am coming from. And like I said, every situation is different. And the obsession shouldn't be crying before your partner. What is
No, I want to ask you that, baritone, have you ever cried in front of your wife? Big question. You had to run to the toilet like the other came in.
No, I have not had to run to the toilet. I have not decidedly cried because in front of my wife, but times they are when you are talking about something and emotions are high. When I get to cry, it's either more because my anger has reached a certain point, or I'm frustrated and I don't plan it, but I'd rather not cry before my wife.
Where do you put? Okay, go on.
It's happened maybe once or twice, but I'd rather not cry before my wife. Like I said, other people may have different other views. Every situation is different. Like I said, why some women can be strong support for their partners and can comfort the man when because crying has to do with vulnerability.
Of
It's
course,
your
it
vulnerability.
is.
It is not the same when you talked about, you said anger and crying. They are two different emotions. Anger is not vulnerability in that sense.
It
It is a
could be.
vulnerability.
It
Yeah,
could be because
it could be.
you don't want your spouse to see you in rage as
Okay,
well.
anger and rage are two different things.
Okay,
You could
anger.
be
Let me go back
angry
to the word
and no, yeah,
anger.
good, good.
Because
So,
what
ang-
if you scare them off with your
good.
anger?
Anger, anger can be a good emotion. It can be a bad emotion depending on how it's expressed. But
No,
then
they
again,
cry.
on the other hand, it is not the same as crying, because crying, you are you have shown you don't show your place. You are down there,
Okay, okay.
you know.
Barry, so let me cut you. So explain Jesus wept, please.
Jesus didn't in the whole of the Bible. You'll find that only once. He didn't go around weeping everywhere.
We are not saying go
It,
around. Imagine in a lifetime, at least Jesus wept. Some of us here, men, you're not denying the fact that you do cry, but you don't cry it wet. I mean, somebody recorded that because they saw him. Children would have been there when Lazarus died. Teenagers would have been there. Men were there. Women were there. They saw him cry. Why didn't he
how
run
many
quickly
times?
to the synagogue to cry there?
How many times did he cry? Did you see him cry? Only once that was it recorded that Jesus wept,
I
and it
don't
was
think when
because
they shook the piercing, I mean, on his side, I don't think he was laughing either.
because he was bowled over by the emotion of the fact that this friend he loved died, and he cried. See, it's easier for the woman to cry and the man to comfort her. Why? Because the woman, it is the place of the man to take care of the woman. That is a universal tradition. That it is the place of, when I say take care, I'm not, please don't, before feminists don't me. I mean to to look out for the woman. And it is easier for the man, to comfort the woman if the woman is emotional. But the other way around, all depends on the situation, depends on the household, depends on how the two partners are running their show, because if the woman is strong enough, then maybe the man can, and even with that, believe you me, he will not want to do it every now and then. He wouldn't want to do it every now and then.
God forbid.
So I think the obsession shouldn't be about, crying before. What is really why do you really want to see him cry? It's like you're trying to bring
We're
him to
talking
his
about
knees.
emotions now. Okay, for example, do you know that some men, they're so close to their fathers, to their mothers, and these people die and they still refuse to cry? Like somebody broke the news to them if they're not there, and the person is they want to cry, but they'll just quickly remember, no, you dare not cry. It's a painful thing.
It doesn't mean that they do not cry in their own way or they do not cry in their own time, but the point remains, crying is good. I subscribe
It's
to
an
it
emotion
100.
well.
It's a good emotion. It's good because when you cry, you let out some and is it endorphins, that help you. It helps you. It kind of makes you feel liberated. It's just like you were talking about forgiveness. When you forgive, it's even for your own good more than the person you're forgiving, because when you let go, believe you me, there is that satisfaction. I can't even describe it. You feel so free, like a chain has been removed from around you, and you feel happy. In fact, that is when you want to even eat your best food, because it's like they removed you from prison. You understand? So crying could do the same thing, but not necessarily, to be before your partner. That is not a contest. It's not a contest. A man should be a man. He's a protector. He is a homekeeper. He's supposed to look after the the wife or the woman and the kids, and if perchance he breaks down in front of the wife and the wife cannot contain it, then there's disaster. And to even worsen it, if he breaks down and the children see it, it could even cause an upset that you may not be able to, change or remove in a lifetime. Because these children's minds are impressionable. They soak like sponges, And for them, daddy is a bulwark. Daddy is a rampart. Daddy is a barricade, the last bus stop. And when daddy cries, it can change a whole lot of things in the psyche, because see, it works in the
angle.
psyche.
That's one angle to looking at it.
Yeah. Leslie says he doesn't agree, but I think, like I said, every household is different. So every household is different. Susan did say, I think you asked Susan about telling your child that it's okay, your boy child, that it's okay to cry. You don't have to cry for that child to see that it's okay to cry. Things would happen and that child would cry. And you allow them to cry, and then you pull them into yourself and comfort them. And then you can have that pep talk. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you as a father would have to cry for that child to see.
No. Nobody have said you have to do that. I mean,
no. I mean, because somebody she did.
Can you even picture this? Okay, say you just had to. Okay, you don't want your child, your son, your daughter to see you or whatever. You go to your room or you go to your toilet and you're pouring, and this child enters and sees you and runs away. What are you gonna do?
Well, the point remains. I don't know. That doesn't happen every day. Of course, it doesn't happen every day. But I think it should be done out of sight and out of hearing, because you are bringing up, feeble and little minds. They're impressionable. They soak up anything. And you are trying to help them, because it's all about the psychology of it.
Exactly what we're saying. The emotions, is part of who we are as human, whether a man or a woman. Is part of who we are. I mentioned certain emotions, anger, frustration, which almost everyone will feel. So if they don't know how to channel this, especially now we're going a boy child, female child or whatever. Why would you teach a female child how to behave emotionally and not teach the boy?
Like I said, situations will arise in the course of their growing up. Many of them for the children to cry, one after the other. And of course, these are learning curves. These are situations where they will be taught what is right and how to express these emotions. You see, it's not in daddy, that you see, the good Lord created man and woman differently. And of course, it is not just in the organs, in the bodily organs, that the difference stops. It is going to show in the way the man behaves totally different from the woman, how they express certain emotions. Why? Because we are different. If somebody says what a man can do, a woman can do, I disagree. Because the two are different. The man is physically stronger than the woman, but the woman is emotionally more strong than the man.
Have you seen some wrestlers? Have you seen some female wrestlers? You dare not go near them.
That one, those ones. Let them let those female wrestlers go and beat the men. Let those female wrestlers go a bit with male wrestlers that they will show them.
On a more serious note now, Baritone, look, I talked about positive emotions, joy, peace, gratitude, hope, love, contentment, which almost every human would feel at some point in time. And I talked about challenging emotions, whether you're a man or a woman, a child man, a baby man or woman, you're going to feel this challenging emotions such as anger, fear, anxiety, sadness, disappointment, guilt, loneliness. All of these things will be felt by a woman, by a man. But why
I
is it that women are allowed to express all these emotions and men are supposed to suck it up?
okay. I said something before you came in with that. I did say all these emotions you've enumerated, they are both felt. They are felt by men and women alike, but it is in the expression, the way they feel them is going to be different. Why? Because man is man, woman is woman. We are different. We are made differently. We experience these emotions. For instance, let me give you, if you look at love as an emotion and the expression of love, the way the woman navigates love is totally different from the way a man navigates love. If the way a man pees is totally going to be different from the way a woman pees. That is the one you see. You have to go beyond what you see to what you do not see, to the abstract. So they are different. These two, then the masculine and feminine gender are different. They feel the same emotions, yes, but they are going to feel them in two different ways. Please, let's open our minds and not be myopic,
Maybe how I can understand what you're saying is they feel this emotion equally, but they express it differently.
Correct. Yes, exactly. And that is not just because of nurture, because some people tend to believe that it's because of how our tradition or how you were brought up. Nature has deposited something into human beings that make men behave in certain ways. Cut them from every civilization, cut them from every culture, you would find that men would behave in certain ways and women would behave in certain ways. That experiment has been done already. You see, we are going to feel, like us, that's why I said it's good to cry. But the
Barrington,
way a
sorry, can you
man,
cast your mind back as a teenage boy? Did you cry as a
yeah,
teenage boy? Can you remember?
not as a teenage, well, you could talk maybe before Tennessee. I did cry, of course, as a child. Of course. I mean, these things happen as part of growing up. It happens, and more to some people than some other people. That is where nurture comes in. You see, nurture would come in there, but it is natural for human beings to cry. You see, but it's not about crying in front of your spouse. It's as if there is something there that needs to be proved.
I don't know what this macho-ness is about. I don't know the word to even use anymore. I'm trying to
It's not
understand
about.
your perspective, but the more you're
It's
talking, the more I'm like challenging it, really. Because I'm like, who says? Who says?
I think there's something about this age that wants to emasculate the man and bring him out of the manliness. No, it shouldn't be that. The man is a man. You see, I think what we should be talking about are negative qualities that we should be pulling out of human beings and not challenging the very essence of the nature of individuals. You see, a man should cry, but
there you go. Again, I don't think that is true. Oh my goodness. Please let us not open that book.
Leslie disagrees with me again. Every situation is different. Yeah, I know. Every situation is different. Leslie, let me hear you. Yeah.
I'm not going to be long because I keep saying King David. he was a warrior, seasoned fighter. And the Bible records on a few occasions that he cried publicly. There's one I think they took his family, that the Amalekites came and took. And he said that him and all his men, they wept loudly. Then I think when they buy his son, Absalom, that even what's the guy got angry that he was crying publicly
in front of their wives, Abi.
Yes, he was. Yes, go and read it. It's there. And I think his right hand
In
man,
front of their wives, they assembled their wives. They come and watch us cry.
He was so.
Now you're being ridiculous. Now
He was so angry. But the point I'm making is that he was a warrior. He was a man who fought, and yet he allowed himself to express himself.
But this it was recorded for us to read. I mean,
Joseph. Joseph too. When he was finally revealed that this was his brother, and the Bible said even his servants, they heard him cry. The whole house heard him cry. I mean, I don't. Let me tell you. I think it's a cultural problem. Let me land.
We are saying the same. We're saying the same thing.
No, but
before you continue,
before your children and your this, and I'm sorry, I don't think your children will see you as less. I think that's a mindset. Your children can never, unless you have trained them to think that you are less when you're crying. Naturally speaking, if your child sees you cry, they're not going to think, oh, that is less than. That's your thinking. You cannot dictate how somebody thinks about how they see you. That's your perception. But I don't think that's the reality. The reality is that if your child sees you crying, they'll actually think this man's actually human.
They will even connect actually a human emotionally. Being. Have you seen a child actually
yeah. I think a lot of times, look, I'm going to say it here. I don't normally cry. Even with cancer and everything, my wife was here, she will attest to you. I don't even till now, I don't, as when they're doing crying movie, I just like, I'm out of here. That's not my sin. But that you're telling me that because I cry for my children, that will make my children feel me. That's a whole hogwash.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, I don't buy. And I'll tell you why. Okay. I have seen. Let me land now.
Exactly, they will bond with you more.
When my mom passed away in 2024, I think that's the first time my children have ever seen me shed tear. And you know the response was to hug me. They didn't say, oh, and since that day, they still have the same respect for me, probably even much more than before. So I'm sorry, I don't buy that they will see us less than. That's probably the way you have trained your family to see that if you ever see me cry, that means I'm weak. That's because unless you have told them that or you have displayed that behavior, I don't think anybody naturally would just think, oh, because somebody cried, that means they're weak. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm saying very strong men cry. And it doesn't make me think, oh, that they're not so strong anymore. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I think it's a cultural perception. That's my point. Thank you.
Okay, Leslie.
Can I come back on that?
Yeah, okay.
Can I come back on that?
Yeah. Learning, yes.
Yeah, let's hear you. Like I said, I have a point. I have points of convergence with what you've said and points where I disagree. I never said there's something wrong with crying. I think that's where you started. I never said this. I've said again and again and again that there's nothing wrong with a man crying. I have said that. And I never said a man should not cry. But the point I am making where I disagree with you is I said to you that situations, homes, and I wasn't talking about my home. You did say that that's the way, and perhaps that's the way I brought up I wasn't talking about my home. I said situations differ. I talked about nature and nurture. I talked about the natural order of things. I talked about St. Paul saying there's nothing wrong in eating meat, but I'd rather not eat meat if it would cause for the downfall of many or for some people. Now, if you brought the example of David crying in his court, if you go back to historical perspective and how things used to happen in those days, you do not open the vulnerability of the king's majesty to crowd. If the king was crying, doors would be closed. He would be with his inner court, his advisors, not open to any woman. That is what happens in king's courts. That they overheard and it was recorded. It can happen. But that you think that, oh, he was sitting and crying. No. What I'm saying here is that, which I stand by, you would still have divergent views, is that there is nothing wrong with a man crying. But I do not believe, this is a personal view, I do not believe that it helps for bringing up kids to cry in front of kids, because you may not be forming their emotional and psychological psyche well by crying, because you are a bulwark of support as the father of the house. I'm talking, and when I say you, I'm not talking about you as a person. I'm talking about the man, the father of the house, is the support system of the family.
Okay.
And they look up to him for certain things. And again, I say some families would always be different from other families.
Wow.
There are certain families where anything goes. The man can do almost anything, and he, is taken as okay by everybody in the house. But I don't see that as the norm. I see that as exception to the norm. So I align more with what Apostle Kenneth said, and with also what I have felt. And again, I say it's okay to cry for a man, but I think where he cries and how he expresses his vulnerabilities goes a long way, to how he deals, with his family.
Actually, say something.
Yeah,
I think one thing I want to make clear. I don't think men who do display emotion do it like every other day of the week. I think that's what you're getting wrong.
Yeah,
I'm saying that
it's not possible.
I'm saying
Even women don't cry every day.
most men will not. But I'm saying that an emotionally healthy man would not have an issue where if he has to
Happens.
cry in his family, it is not going to break, it's not going to destroy the home. I'm sorry, I'm not buying the fact that the children are going to feel some kind of way. Men don't even cry in front of their children, and their children are still some kind of way. They're still some kind of way. So please, I'm not buying that. I just don't buy it.
Okay.
There are a lot of I went to boarding school. There are a lot of boys. I went to boarding school. Let me land. I went to boarding school in Nigeria.
To his own.
There are a lot of boys. Wait, let me land now. There are a lot of boys that went to boarding school, and they are today. They are grown men, almost 50. They are still emotionally unstable. So that they didn't show them emotion. Were they better for it? So I think your point is quite moot. I think it's very moot. That a man that don't show emotion doesn't make you better. It doesn't make you any better. I think it's just down to the situation and the condition at the point in time. But a man cry is not going to make you less weak. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I will not buy it for a second that your child is going to see some kind of way. Why? A man can cry for his wife, the next week can still lose his temper.
Let's balance this.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy it.
Look, there are thousands of families out there. There are thousands of men, millions of men out there. What works in this home and not be what works. We are all painting real life scenarios in different homes. So let's not be on each other's throat, so to say. What Barry Tone said is happening in some homes right now. Leslie, what you said is happening in some homes right now. You see me laughing. I'm just throwing this out there such that each person will go back and reflect how they want to show emotion, whether they're men, whether they're women, however you feel deemed fit, you want to show it with your loved ones, without them. If you want to run to toilet, if you want to, I've had, I don't know how many ratio of men to women in terms of counseling clients I've had. But for the first time, I had a man cry in session. I wasn't expecting that because it's what everybody's carrying in their head. I mean, how can a man cry? I wasn't. It's women. I know women will come. First session, most of them tissue and all of that. But for this man, I wasn't expecting that. but I still had to hold the space. Was it awkward? Somewhat, but he was pouring his emotion, and he dare say he can't do that elsewhere. In fact, he doesn't know why that happened. Do you understand? So these things, you might have bottled it. It's good. You've established it's good for a man to cry. Of course, no doubt, for a man to cry. But what I am thinking when everybody's talking, which I didn't even think of when I was preparing my note, is how then do we teach our male children? Because crying is one of many emotions. So why is it that they see us angry, they see us upset, they even see us, with all of that emotion as human as possible, but this particular one, we just feel, no, we have to shield it away from them. And does that not mean we're enabling them to grow a hard heart? Because we know crying, I can tell you, is therapeutic in a way. Crying relieves. Sometimes you that you go and hide and do these things, by the time you cry it out, you feel somewhat better. So why?
Host.
Yes, sir.
That particular point, I did say something about it. I say, why, how do we teach? I did say, I don't know if you heard what I said.
Please, maybe you remind us, because a lot has been said.
Yes. So there are a whole lot of things that kids do that they do not see you do, and they learn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some of these things are innate. And like I said, within the lifespan of the growing, within the growing years of a child would have loads of times to cry. As a baby, as a toddler, exactly, running around, and they have loads of times. These are curves that the child can learn how to channel their emotions in the right way, aided by their parents. Yeah. The father doesn't need to cry to be able to teach the child how to cry. You understand? So I think you can learn you can teach certain things without, even a father can teach by advising. Yeah. We find adults that grow up and they say, my father used to say this, my father taught me this. How did they teach? They advise. They, that's where Hear, O Israel came from. The Lord, and you shall talk about it when you sit, when you lie down. It doesn't mean you have to go and do it. You don't have to cry. So to the point I'm making is that there are loads of other ways to teach.
Barito, maybe I didn't hear you right, because I think one of the things you said is sometimes if a man cries and the children sees him, they might lose, that what do you even use? They will lose respect or lose something. I can't remember.
No. I didn't say. I never said lose respect. Mm-hmm. I said because it's just part of an argument. It wasn't the only point. And part of the argument I made is that in so many homes, the father is a symbol of stability. Is a symbol of support. Is the last bus stop. Is where the child runs to. And then this Rock of Gibraltar breaks down someday and starts crying. You could cause an upset that you may never be able to repair in that child's psyche. So that's why I say every home is different. I have said in my submission, I have said what is the general view and what I subscribe to. I have not said everybody should take what I subscribe to. I've only stated my view, which I know is true in so many situations, many ramifications. So we can teach our children things even based on, because they express this thing, the child would cry. There's a way the child expresses emotion. There's a way the child cries in the wrong way, and that situations like that can be used to teach the child.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with crying. It's good. It's nice. It's beautiful. But I'm not breaking down every now and then. I'm breaking down in front of your partner.
Oh, no. Okay, so let me ask you the second question here. Why is forgiveness important for emotional health?
I thought I did answer that.
See, a lot has been said. If you have, yeah, okay.
Yes, it is good because it liberates you. It
Okay.
liberates the person that is forgiving even more than the person that is being forgiven. Because it's like releasing you from chains. Like you find out your mind would be so free of everything. You just find you just find that peace, that inner peace that you can't even describe to and it's very, very necessary. It might be hard, like I think Sean said that it might be hard in it, to forget. Yeah, it's depending on what is being forgiven.
Yeah.
Depending on who is being forgiven. For some people, it's easy to forgive some people than some people. And from experience, the closer the person, the harder it is to forgive. Because of the levels of consanguinity and affinity determine that. And of course, the closer you are, the stronger the emotions. And that's why it's harder to forgive. So, yeah. But forgiveness is good.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I think today we really tore it to pieces. Yeah, very good. I mean, we're keeping it real and simple at the same time because every home is different. Every human, their upbringing, whatever it is, everyone is different. However, the way God has created us, we come in that package: mental health, physical health, emotional health, and all the other ones, So how we express is different one to another. Do we have some people, they don't even know how to love. They've never been shown how to love as such. And now growing up, they see this person they like, they love, they don't even know how to express. That's even another challenge. They don't know what to do with that emotion. They don't know how to handle it. So all of these things, it plays a huge role in each individual's lives. And that's how we talk about these things. We all need to go back now.
Sorry, host, please.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hope you don't mind. It's just something you said, when you talked about the experience you had at counseling. With that, your counselee, breaking down. Now, you would find that happening, because that man in that state is in a different environment. And he believes in his psyche that this counselor, unconsciously, when I say believes, unconsciously, he believes this counselor can handle almost anything. And he lets go. You understand? But the other environment, he is the protector in his mind. He is supposed to be the strong one for the other people. So there are two different environments here. Here, you are his protector as a counselor. You hold his emotion, and he knows he's in a safe space, in safe hands. But there, in the other place, he behaves in a stoic manner where he believes in, he's supposed to be looked up to, and he's supposed to guard and help the other people. That's something I wanted to share, in view with what you said.
Thank you. Yes, so that's his own toilet he's run into to go and cry. Perhaps, I get it.
Exactly.
I didn't see it in that light, but I mean, it makes sense you saying that because I've seen clients, I mean, men, women, all sorts, But I mean, even I wasn't expecting that, but it did happen, and I'm glad I was able to hold the space, just like you said. Jones, I see you. Thank you so much. Debbie, I don't know if you have one or two to say because I see you've been chatting away in there. Let's hear your views and then we'll go to our puzzle and call it a night because I know we're still going to work tomorrow if some of us are not even at work right now. Thank you all so much so far for your contribution. Debbie, good evening. Thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, I've said it all. Debbie, you have to unmute. Oh, she slept off already. I didn't finish my contribution. Leslie, okay. Oh, since Debbie is getting herself ready. Yeah, finish your contribution, Leslie, while we wait for Debbie.
I actually wanted to hear Debbie speak, but I didn't finish my contribution because I kept getting interrupted. The point I wanted to make, and I think that's the point I was trying to establish with Brother Baraton, and I heard what he has to say, and I agree. It's not. I'm not saying this is a standard for everybody, but what I think is that the vast majority of men are emotionally unhealthy. And my boarding school years in Nigeria, and I've heard this from across the board from most guys who went to boarding school, even here in the UK. Here in the UK, I had the privilege of meeting someone from the US as well. It is the same thing. Most guys who go to boarding school, it is like that is where their emotions go to die. Most guys, they are not going to come out of that experience, and if they do come out, they're not the same. They're just not the same emotionally speaking, unless the schools were intentional about that. So what I was trying to say about it is that the vast majority of men are just not emotionally healthy, and they don't even think about being emotionally healthy. And my point I was trying to make was that a man crying would probably be the best thing to happen in that family to start to do the work of emotional health.
Perhaps, Leslie.
Because for the most part, most men do not grow up in a home where there's vulnerability expressed properly. And I'm not saying that's crying. I'm just saying that just vulnerability being expressed properly is not even done at all, let alone done properly. And that's why you see a lot of men that carry. That's why you see a lot of men who have not done that thing end up going into relationships where there's a lot of DV or abuse or neglect. It's part of that. It's all part of that because they are emotionally unhealthy. Now, if they were emotionally healthy, a lot of them the thought of even laying hand on somebody won't exist because they've already learned to emotionally regulate themselves. They've learned to do that. And that is in a healthy environment. So my point I was making with Borabarton is that 90% of men are emotionally unhealthy. And that for a child to see their father crying, I think is the first sign that this person is a human being. It's the first sign that human being. I'm sorry, I don't care how you feel about it. They're human being because 90% of men will never be vulnerable. They just won't be. They will never see or experience vulnerability. And for the few that do, it's a rare occasion. It's very rare, and if done properly, it's actually a healing and a healthy thing for such individuals. But very few men, very few. That's my point. I've landed my point. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Byron, I know you're still there. I wanted to bring you back because we're going to do the puzzle. I don't know whether you ran away now because of the puzzle, but I've been posting it there, and you guys know to be practicing underneath there such that we just hit it straight up, straight on. So let me find it again and post, and we will be ready to do this to go and sleep. So, well, we've said a lot about this emotional health. It's very important. God has given us these emotions, but how we express them, how we manage them is really what matters and what is important. Because we rub off on each other. You have your emotions to express either to yourself or to the people around you. When you express in certain ways, people sometimes have ideas. They can look at you funny, they can name you, shame you, and all sorts. We get it. But that doesn't mean we should bottle this emotion up because it has its way of affecting us negatively, can affect your physical health as well. I talked about blood pressure, some people's sleeplessness, all sorts, that it can actually bring to your body in a negative way. So we need to be mindful. If you have to find the right space to express certain feelings, emotions, please feel free to do so, as long as you're not in denial and as long as you're not bottling things up. God wants us to prosper in all aspects of our lives. Thank you all so much for your contribution, Leslie, Kenneth, Susan, Debbie, Shan, Baritone, who else? Queen that came as well, Clement. Thank you, Shemel, as well, as many I can remember. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate every single one of you. Steve, good evening. So, most Nigerian men suffer with high blood pressure and hypertension. See? And I mean, maybe they need to learn to show more emotion instead of bottling it up. Who knows? Thank you, Leslie, for that addition. So our puzzle today is a tongue twister. Maybe next I'll bring another riddle. It's a tongue twister. We will say this 3 times as fast as possible without blabbing and as clear as possible. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. 3 times without blabbing. Whoever wants to go first. Leslie, you've seen this thing way when I posted it the first time. So you should have practiced. Shan as well. Thank you, Shan. I know my people are here, or you're not disappointing me today. See, Baritone ran away. We're going to find him next time he comes. He came and scattered ground and ran away. So who is ready? Who's going to be the first person to go with our tongue twister? Please, let's laugh to go and sleep. Let us express laughter, emotions, joy, happiness. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. Let us try Peripatio. I see you. Good evening. Thanks for joining. We're just about rounding up. But if you want to take part in this tongue twisting challenge, please send an invite and I'll bring you up. Because I mean, if
We didn't hear Debbie's contribution, though. But anyway,
she's muted, and I'm mindful of time. I don't know, maybe
I'm going to say my own. I'll say the riddle now. I'll be the puzzle.
Debbie, I can't unmute her. So
I'll try and say the puzzle now.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance.
Leslie?
I just said it now.
I said
hear me?
3 times without we couldn't
3.
I didn't hear you. 3 times fast as possible without blabbing.
All right. I said it again. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance.
That's a lot better. Ebony, good evening. Alan, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Where did you put that voice before? Thank you, Leslie. Debbie, did you unmute? I thought I heard you now. I've been calling your attention since you're not responding.
I've unmute twice. I've unmute myself twice. I realized people are busy, so I said let's leave it for tonight.
So you don't have any addition, any subtraction? I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't have everybody else. Everybody, yeah, I can hear you guys clearly. Everybody have said this. Emotion is part of life. Even Jesus expresses his emotion. Everybody have to express him. I think when it comes to the male and female parts, I understand where Mr. Baritone is coming from. I understand where that Leslie is coming from. But at the same time, we just need to understand that if you are a leader of something, I'm using Jesus now as example. As much as you can cry in front of your subordinates, I'm using your children as and wife. There are some cry you cannot cry in front of them. There are some emotion you cannot show in front of them, not because you don't want to, but because you showing that kind of emotion in front of them can affect them in a way you don't want. E.g., you lost a business. If you break down in front of your children, their mind is still fragile to understand that, oh, it's a loss of business. We can build it again. What they see is we failed, we will suffer, we won't have to enjoy the life they are enjoying. A lot of things. Children can times things differently, no matter how wealthy you think you train them. It's normal to show emotion in front of them. Your wife, even your wife, sometimes there are some emotion you are like, it's not because you don't want to show it, but you don't want her to have the fear of it has finished.
She might not be able to contain it,
and
or
this
manage
applies
it.
to both male and female. Exactly. So this applies to both male and female. That's why I said if you are a leader of something, because look at Jesus. He cried in front of Lazarus' tomb. True, that was because of the love he had for Lazarus, and everybody understand that. He cried over Jerusalem because he felt like these are the people that are supposed to understand him, accept him, and all that. He cried. But there is a particular cry Jesus cried that his disciple, they only saw the glimpse, which is the one he cried on Mount Gethsemane. What did they call it? He cried.
Yeah.
He cried there, but not in front of them. Because if he had cried in front of them, it might be worse than all of them. The fact that he didn't cry, but they caught him, they beat him. Did they not run away? So imagine he cried in front of them, but he still cried. So there are some cry you can cry in front of your children. I'm not. See, I didn't grow up in a house where my men don't cry. When my brother called me to give me the news of my dad, he was the first one to cry. So it's not a big deal for me that I see men cry or something. It's not a big deal for me, but I know there are some tears my dad cried that I don't know about. And mind you, the fact that they cried in front of me does not mean that if I mess up, they cannot treat my mess up. It doesn't mean that if that man is angry, if he's showing the angry part of his emotion, that I should not be running 10 feet away. So I don't think there is any restriction in expressing your emotion. I just think what we all need to learn is how to manage our emotions.
Yeah, true.
Anger, even there are some happiness, there are some joy that you need to learn to manage them, because you can't be too happy to some extent. It can lead you to trouble.
True.
There are some testimonies some people shares out of happiness, that testimony is the one that leads them back to trouble. So you just need to see, emotional intelligence is very important. As much as we want to express our emotion, emotional intelligence is very, very, very important. You can be healthy emotionally, but you are not intelligent.
Yeah.
You can be healthy, but not intelligent. As much as emotional health is important, the intelligent part of it is important, because how you apply it matters. How you apply it matters. There are sometimes you just have to maybe look away. There are sometimes you just have to. I think it was proverb that said, "Do not respond to a folly according to his folly." Then the next verse said, "Respond to a folly according to his folly, so that I won't think he's smart." The same chapter.
I'm like, which one
A
are we
verse
going to do?
different from each other.
Yeah.
So you indirectly telling you learn to manage your emotion.
Wisdom is profitable.
Where people have issue is managing the emotion, applying the intelligent part of their emotion. Oh, do you think Jesus can't kill all of them that came to arrest him? He can, but instead he even scolded Peter. Yet he knew what Peter can do. He knew the next thing Peter will do. He knew the next thing that can. Do you think he can't stop it? He could have stopped it if he wanted to, but for everything to be fulfilled, So managing our emotion, applying the intelligence part of it, helps us in life. Be healthy with your emotion. I think the healthy part of emotion I understand is the fact that you can tap into every part of your emotions. You can tap into it by not denying it. The pain, you can tap into it when it's time to express the pain. You can tap into it when it's time to express the joy. You can tap into it when it's time to express disappointment. Any kind of emotion you feel, that's what makes you healthy. The fact that you can understand what you are feeling at that point. The fact that you can understand it, the fact that you are how you now carry it out, how you express it, how it plays out now determines how intelligent you are with your emotion. So that's the only thing I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you, Debbie. It's very important. Are you emotionally intelligent? Maybe another thing for us to reflect about. It's good to express, we need to get wisdom, so many things attached to it. Otherwise, maybe we choose the wrong place to express the right emotion. Maybe there's something as such. I pray God will give us the wisdom, the direction, and the expression as well. Emotional health, it's part of who we are. We have to look after our emotions. Otherwise, we don't want that emotion to look after us, so to say. Thank you so much for adding that, Debbie. Thank you. So who is gonna go for the puzzle? Next person. At least we need 2 more, so we'll go and sleep, yes? Who is ready? Shan, come on. Debbie, Susan, Elder Kenneth. Come on,
Let me give it a try. I'm already tired.
Come on.
Okay. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. 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 I added the extra one, please.
Okay,
I added the extra one too.
I hear you. Well done. You tried. I'll just give you your donut. Just one donut to manage. Thank you for that. Really, it's funny. Shan. Come on, Shan. Let's do this. Let's do this so that our people will go and sleep. You've tried so much. Oh my goodness. We really spent time on this today, and I hope that people have learned so many things tonight. Honestly, thank you all for your contributions. Shan, do you want to do this puzzle? Elder Kenneth?
Where I am is noisy, but let me just try. Persistent prayer promote peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promote peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promote peace. Persistent prayer promote peace, patience, and perseverance.
Wow. In fact, you see how good you're becoming at these things now. You see, it's before you'll be laughing at yourself. I can't do this. But you can see now. Well done, sir. Thank you. Shan, do you want to top it up or what's happening? I missed you on there. Come on, let's do this.
Okay. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance. Persistent prayer promotes peace, patience, and perseverance.
Oh, wow. Well done, you. Thank you. That's how we do it. Thank you so much, Shan. Thank you, Elder Kenneth. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Debbie. Susan, thank you for being there. And every other person, I think maybe 1 or 2 people still there. Oh, okay, they've gone. Thank you all so much. It's the beginning of another week. I wish us well. God, go ahead of us. Be with us as we go in this week. God will bless our goings and our comings, our sleeping and our waking. The works of our hands will prosper according to God's will for us. Sleep tight, my beloved people. Thank you so much for helping to build this community. I can't do it alone. I said it. God has brought you all. And thank you for the tremendous work you guys are doing to making sure that, we reflect together and learn, the positive ways of living so that we can keep enjoying the essence of living. Thank you so much. We'll see you here again, 8 p.m. Thursday, UK time. 8 p.m. UK time, Thursday, whichever one our sleep is coming in. Thank you all so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a lovely night rest. Thank you, Baritone, as well. Thank you, Clement. Thank you, Shimel. God bless you. Have a lovely, lovely night rest. Good night, everybody. Thank you. The promise, the future, and life. Yes, have a nice, good night rest. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. I want to take it to 125. Yeah, thank you all so much. Elder Kenneth, thank you so much. I want to take it to 125. Yay, thank you so much. I trust my community. Nearly there, yeah, it's gonna get there now. Yay! Good night, everyone. Thank you.